Okay, guys, I'm back. Okay, so I finally figured out what the problem is. If you guys can hear me, please let me know. I'm gonna wait. If you guys can hear me, just say yes, I can hear you, and then the city that you're in, so that I know. And let me just give everybody a few minutes to jump back on here. Okay, so I can see the comments now. Okay, so what happened was this, guys. I did mark the live chats and the live comments, and the reason why YouTube turned it off was because um, I marked that it's made for kids. So I searched online real quick why I did it, why it wouldn't let me have the comments, and it said that because it was made for kids, they won't allow the public to comment. Okay, so okay, I see everyone's comments now. Okay, so okay, I see you, Chung, in says Da Nang or Saigon, and then Aaron Kippa and Michael. They can see me from Australia, right? Um, Darren Steen, I see you in Baton Rouge. Oh yeah, you guys go to America, man. You guys got to go to Louisiana. I think that this is something that people don't talk too much about, but I think Louisiana has the best food in America, hands down. Like Cajun food down in Louisiana, that's in my opinion, in America, they have the best food. It's not in New York, it's not in California, despite what everybody thinks. You want to eat the best food in America, it's in Louisiana. Okay. Uh, I used to go down to Baton Rouge a lot to fix the commercial fishing shrimp boats there a lot. So every time we go to Louisiana, we eat a ton of Cajun food. They have some good Cajun food restaurants in Bangkok as well. Okay. All right. Okay, I hear you, Mr. Gui from Vung Tau, and I hear you. Okay. Uh, Nighttime over there with Osco blog in San Francisco. Okay. All right. Let me get back to what I was saying earlier. I didn't realize that when one of the students asked me to stop cussing and stop using profanity on my channel so that he can put my videos on the big screen TV in his living room, and so his kids can watch it too. So I've been doing trying to remember not to use profanity and keep this video PG-13 so that the kids can watch it also. So when I put it on for kids, the YouTube turn off the comments because they don't want people putting some crazy comments in the comment box while the kids are watching. That's why the comments were not on, even though I clicked it on. Okay, back to what I was saying earlier. I made a tough decision to go with the short-term solution for my heart treatment because I did not want to stress out my wife while she was pregnant for our fifth child, and she's then going to deliver the baby in 1 or 2 weeks. Okay, so my fifth child is born now. His name is Tiger, right? So he's born. He's the strongest and the healthiest baby that we have. And so now I have a total of 5 kids. I have 4 boys and 1 girl. And they are the luckiest little bastards I've ever seen in my life because they're born into a rich dad family. Okay. So I hope that my sons someday they take my wealth and do something good with it, in the world, and not just go spend it all on cocaine and hookers. Okay. So that's my health situation right now. When I try to talk faster or something like that, um, it starts to put a strain on my heart and my cardiovascular system. So I cannot talk any faster than this, and I cannot talk much louder than this either, even if I wanted to. Okay. Um, I even got the heart rate monitor right here. Okay. So the this fourth heart attack, it has affected my memory quite a bit, guys. Okay. So before the end of this year, I have to make this video, or else YouTube's going to cut off the ads to this channel, and then they're not going to recommend this channel, these videos, to other people. That's why I'm doing the live broadcast now. And I've also gotten lots and lots of messages from you guys over the last year asking me to update the channel and make a update video. So here it is. Okay. What's the deal with my house? The palace that I'm building in the city of Da Nang, which is in central Vietnam. I was supposed to finish building the palace at the end of the Zen Palace at the end of 2024, and it's not finished. It's nowhere even close to finishing, and the reason why is because I hired the biggest architect company in the city of Da Nang, and it was the first architect and the longest and the oldest architect and the biggest architect company in Da Nang. And they did not know how to design my palace. And so they did not factor in and calculate the 100-ton swimming pool that's on the 4th floor on the roof, And because of that, when they started they started building the house. And while they were building the walls of the house, and they pumped in water into the swimming pool to test where it's leaking so that they can check for leaks, the entire house cracked. All the beams in the house started cracking, right? And so now I have to demolish the entire Zen Palace, everything, demolish it, get rid of it, demolish the foundation, everything, and start all over and pretty much build a new Zen Palace version 2. Zen Palace version 1 has to be demolished. I have not demolished it yet because I am still looking for a new construction company, a new architectural company in Saigon and Hanoi that is capable of building, designing and building the Zen Palace. And then when I find it, then I will bring them down and look at all the mistakes that they built in the Zen Palace version 1. And then we will demolish it and then start all over and build a brand new Zen Palace version 2. Okay. Please do not send any questions to me. Please do not send any comments to me. Did you hire a building inspector? Did you hire this? Did you hire that? I went and interviewed like 24 architect companies and about a dozen construction companies before I made the decision to select the architect company and the construction company that did it. Some of you guys are asking me, did I go out there and see the projects they have done before and to make sure that they know how to build a house or a palace before I build mine? Yes, I did. Okay, I did my due diligence and everything, just like I'm investing into any tech company or crypto project. I go do my due diligence. They were just in Da Nang right now. There's no architectural company or construction company that is capable of building my Zen Palace. So I'm looking in Saigon and I'm looking in Hanoi, and I have a list of about 15 companies that might be able to build it, and then I have to go through each company, interview them, and then see if they're capable of building it. Okay, so please do not send me comments, do not send me suggestions, do not send me anything, because it's just a waste of my time. Okay, do not ask me why I don't use an American architect or a European or an Australian architect. The reason why is because they build houses out of wood in America, and we build houses out of concrete in Vietnam. So they do not have experience building houses out of concrete in America or Australia. So I have to hire a local architect and a local construction company. Also, whenever you do construction over here, since I'm building the biggest house and the biggest mega mansion in central Vietnam, you have to pay, you know, what you guys would call a bribe. You have to pay here and pay there to get construction permits and all kinds of stuff. There's no way that an American architect or company or an Australian would be able to come here and know who to pay. Okay, so that's why I have to use a Vietnamese company. Okay. So I will stop like every 10 minutes and I will look at the comments and answer any questions. Or if I finish a specific topic, I will ask for questions, But please do not send any random comments, because it's just a waste of my time. I have to read through it and then see if there's a question there or not. Okay. So that's the status of the Zen Palace. I will, once I select the Zen Palace and I update you guys, I'll let you know. And also, please do not ask me, like, hey, or tell me that there's ways to salvage it or save it. And there's methods to patch the concrete or nothing. The whole damn palace is cracking. Okay. We just had some big typhoons in Vietnam, and I let the swimming pool fill up, and it just cracked everything. It cracked even more. I went to a construction forensics company that is also authorized to do forensics, and they went in, they inspected all the design, and it's horrible. They said that these are all the areas that are cracked in the concrete because the original architect company did not calculate the 100-ton swimming pool on the roof. So all the beams in the palace are all cracked. And wherever they show me that it's going to crack, when the typhoon came and filled up the swimming pool with water, all those areas are all cracked. So it's cracked beyond repair. Can you repair? Yes, but the time and the money and everything, it's going to be the same as a new one. And if it's cheaper, I want to build a palace that will, last 100 years for my kids and my grandkids. I don't want to build something sloppy and know that's all cracked and all messed up and try to salvage it for my kids and my grandkids, because I don't want them to ever look back and say, man, grandfather was a cheap dude, or he was a dumbass, or he was an idiot. Why did he leave us this busted up, palace for? Okay, so I'm going to just demolish it and just build it new from scratch again. Okay. All right. So Cryptomnus said he, drove by the Zen Palace in Da Nang last October. Yeah, it's not. It's the construction. There's no construction. There's nothing happening right now. If you go there, there's nothing happening. Okay. So, whatchamacallit, Green Mitzi says that it's a structural problem, not an architectural problem. No, it is both. It's an architectural and a structural problem. The reason why it's both is because the architect company did not know how to design it. I went and looked at some of their hospitals, some of the universities, and some of the hotel towers and bank towers that they have designed in Da Nang. And I thought, man, if they can design a 20, 30, 40-story tower, they can design a 15-story hospital or a 10-story university. Why would they not be able to design a 3-story palace for me? Like, why would they not? But the reality was, it didn't know how to do it. They just didn't know how to do it. Okay. And so that's why they did not know how to design it. So I asked them if they double check the structural design, and the architectural company said yes, they did, but the reality is they never did, because the way that construction works is that you have to you have to hire an independent third party to inspect the architectural design to make sure that it's structurally safe, and they never did that. So they didn't do it. Even though they said they did, they didn't do it. And then the construction company, when I asked them, hey, are you guys going to inspect these architectural designs and structural designs to make sure that it's safe before you guys start constructing the palace? They said, yes, we have to do that before we do the construction to make sure it's safe and make sure that it's valid. They said that, but they never did it. And then the inspection company, the independent inspection company that I hired to inspect the designs and inspect the palace while they do the construction, they said they were going to do that. They never did. Okay. And the reason why none of them ever did it was because the inspection company assumed that the architectural company was the biggest architectural company and the oldest architectural company in Da Nang. So they thought, well, if these guys are the biggest and the oldest architectural company, why would they design it wrong? And why would they not inspect their own design? And that was their mistake. Okay. The architectural company did not inspect it because they assumed that the construction company will inspect the designs and the inspection company will inspect the designs. So they didn't inspect it themselves. And then the construction company did not inspect the designs because they assumed that this is the biggest architectural company. Why would they not inspect their own designs, right? And then I hired an independent inspection company. Why wouldn't they inspect it? So all three of these companies assumed that the other two would inspect it. And then each one of them, this one assumed that the other two would inspect it, and this one assumed that the other two would inspect it, and nobody inspected it. So they went and built my palace without any inspection of the designs. And so they didn't design it correctly, and they didn't inspect the designs. And that's why it's cracking. The whole palace is cracking. So I got to do it from scratch again. Okay. Okay. Somebody said I need to engage a structural engineering company. That's what I did. Right. The architectural company said that they did it. Okay. So Gergis, 1973. I remember this guy. This guy was the biggest. That was probably one of the biggest #1 trolls that I had on my channel when I started my channel. And I was genuinely trying to help everyone avoid the mistakes and the scams in the market. And he would always accuse me of being the biggest scammer. And why he's still following me, I have no idea. You know, if I was supposed to be the biggest scammer in crypto, you know, then why is he still following me after all these years? I guess he realized who all the real scammers are. Okay. Okay. I'll answer all the crypto questions later, guys. I just want to update the channel real quick. Okay. So here's the thing, guys. So that's the update on my house. That's the update on my life. That's the update on my health, my family. The title of this video is what happens after you make life-changing profits. Okay. So I want to talk a little bit about that before I go into the crypto market and update you guys on what our team's view of the crypto markets are. Okay. So you guys that have been following me for a long time, you guys know that I was born in Vietnam during the war. After the U.S. lost the war in Vietnam in 1975, by about 1977, 78, the Communist Party came in and confiscated all the property in Vietnam, right? And the reason why they confiscated all my dad's property and assets was because of there was a lot of Chinese immigrants that came from Hainan, from Canton, from Hong Kong, from Guangzhou province in China during the wars over there. They would immigrate to South Vietnam and they would become Chinese immigrants there in South Vietnam. And then they would marry Vietnamese wives, and then they would, they would marry the Vietnamese. And then over the years, they would become Vietnamese themselves. Okay. My great-grandfather was born in the island of Hainan, China, and he immigrated to Vietnam. And because in the government records and the documents, I came from a Chinese background. My dad came from a Chinese background, right? So because of that, when the communist government took over the South, right, they wanted to socialize. They have, they believe in socialism. So all the rich people in South Vietnam, right, they confiscated all the property of all the people that work for the Americans, that were puppets for the Americans, right, to help the Americans invade and take over Vietnam. So those people lost and they ran to America, and they live in like around the Southern California area in the Little Saigon area. So those people, the communists confiscated all their property because they lost the war. They were considered like the enemy. They were traitors because they helped the Americans try to invade Vietnam. Okay, so those people, they confiscated them. And in addition to confiscating their property of the puppet government in South Vietnam, the Communist Party also confiscated all the property of all the people that had a Chinese background, because those were like the wealthy businesses and the wealthy people in southern Vietnam. Now, even though my parents and my grandparents came from China, my grandfather and my great grandfather came from China, we were not very wealthy at the time during the war. Okay, but they came in and confiscated it anyway. Okay, so that's why we left Vietnam in around 1977, and we went to live in a refugee camp in Malaysia for like a year, and then from there we immigrated to the U.S. and became refugees in the U.S. And many of you guys know that when I came to the U.S., my dad, my mom, they did not know American culture. They don't understand it, so they didn't know what's a poor neighborhood, what's a rich neighborhood. So they went and moved into the poorest, the most ghetto neighborhood in America, okay, and the most racist too. So I grew up in Port Arthur, which is a city 80 miles east of Houston, which is in the state of Texas, and we lived right next to the most racist city in America, which is Vidor, Texas. That's the headquarters of the Ku Klux Klan, which is the most racist group of people in America. Okay, so I chose the wrong friends in the poor ghetto black neighborhood that I live in. I chose the wrong friends. I got involved in drugs and guns, and the cops arrested us, and we went to prison. You know, I went to prison for almost 14 years. My brother went in there for 30 years. He was supposed to do 35 years, but Trump released him and reduced his sentence because we didn't have the drugs that they claimed that we had. Okay, so by the time Trump tried to reduce my sentence, I already did 14 years, so it was too late to reduce my sentence. So I had to do my whole sentence. So my brother, Trump reduced my brother's sentence by 5 years. So I come out of prison, and in prison, I saw that there was these, it was illegal for you to do two things in prison. You can't have sex with another prisoner, and you cannot have sex with a prison guard. And the other thing that is illegal in prison is that you cannot make money while you're in prison. So when I was in prison, I would go to the law library and read all the legal textbooks so I can appeal my case and win my case. And in the prison law library is where I saw these white guys that were making money from trading coffee, soybean, gold, silver, oil, wheat, pork bellies. And that was the first time in my life that I saw somebody making money and not doing manual labor. So that always fascinated me. So when I came out of prison after nearly 14 years, my goal has always been to learn trading. So when I came out of prison, I went to the biggest trading school in America. They have like 40 academies around the world. So I went there, and that's where I learned how to trade. And when I was there, Bitcoin came out, right? And I tried to explain to them that Bitcoin was a new asset class, and that we should, we're teaching people how to trade stocks. We're teaching people how to trade futures. We're teaching people how to trade options, and we're teaching people how to trade Forex. Why don't we teach people how to trade Bitcoin? Because this is a new asset class. And the owner of the company, the CEOs, the executives, the managers, my coworkers, they always thought that I was dumb as shit to even talk about Bitcoin, right? Well, guess what? Who's dumb now? Okay. So that's why I left the school and I started this channel to teach people what Bitcoin is and how to invest into it back then, over like 12, 13 years ago. Okay. Now, one thing I did not know when I first started learning how to trade, right, was that I did not know that there's a concept called the marginal utility of money. Okay. And I learned this from my business partner and my good friend, the Honorable Grandmaster, legendary, world-renowned LeonFu.com. That has to be one of the smartest Taiwanese guy I've ever met in my life. And I'm fortunate that he's my best friend and he's also my business partner. And he taught me this concept of marginal utility of money. Okay. Now, if you say the words marginal or margin, people know what that means. If you say the word utility, people know what that means. When you say the word money, people know what that means. However, when you combine all three words together, marginal utility of money, it's confusing as hell in the English language or any language. And I want to share a story of what Albert Einstein's wife said. I remember they interviewed Albert Einstein's wife, and they asked her, like, do you understand what your husband is saying? Right? And she would say, I understand the words, but not the sentences. Okay? She would say that she would understand every word that he said, but whenever he combined them together into a sentence or into a phrase, she would not understand it. Okay? So when leonfu.com, the Honorable Grandmaster, legendary, world-renowned leonfu.com would tell me the phrase marginal utility of money, I understood each word, but I didn't understand what the phrase meant. And even though he tried to explain it to me 100 times, right? Because I'm not one of those Asians that's smart or, high academics or good in math and science. It took him forever. And it wasn't until I started making life-changing profits, right, that I finally understood what the word marginal utility of money means, okay? And I'm going to give you guys a few examples to help you guys understand this. When I came out of prison in 2006, the first $50,000 that I made did not happen until 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009. It was between 2008 and 2009 that I was able to make, I think it was 2009, that I was able to make close. It was not 50,000, but it was close. It was like $42,000 or $44,000, okay, in 1 year. And that was the first time. I'm going to round it off to 50,000 so it's easier for me to explain to you guys the concept of the marginal utility of money, okay, and about life-changing profits. So the first 50,000 chunk that I made, it dramatically changed my life. It allowed me to get a cell phone. It allowed me to get a laptop. It allowed me to take a girl on a date and buy coffee and tea and a hamburger or a burrito or a taco or even a nice dinner for a girl that I took out on a date. Okay. I was able to, if there was an emergency, I was able to afford a $300 or $400 or $500 ticket, and I could fly to that city to take care of the emergency or see my family or if there's an emergency. So that first $50,000 allowed me to get phone, go on dates, get a car, make a car payment, right? Put a down payment on a car, put a down payment on an apartment or a condo and rent it. That first $50,000 chunk that I ever made in my life, it made the biggest impact and the biggest influence and the biggest change into the quality of my life. Okay. Remember, I came out of prison with nothing. Okay. I had to beg the prison guard to give me an extra 3 pair of boxers and to give me an extra 3 t-shirts so that I have some clothes to wear when I came out of prison in 2006. Okay. So the first 50,000 made the biggest change in my life. The second $50,000 that I made did not happen until 2010. 2010 was the first year that I made over $100,000 a year from my job. And then 2011 was probably my peak when I was working a regular job. I was able to make like 150, I think 151 or 152 or 153,000, somewhere around there. I know it was over 150,000 for sure because I was so grateful that I was making, I thought that it was a huge accomplishment for me to make $100,000 a year. And then when I made over 150,000, it was just like, I thought I was on top of the world at that time. Okay. Yeah. Now you guys hear me say that, but what you don't know is that I made the money, but I did not have a lot of money. I was still very poor. I made it, but I was still very poor. And the reason is because of this. When you're a single guy and you make $150,000, the government takes almost 1/3 of it. So I only have like 110, 115,000 to take home. Okay. And then in 2012, I had my second massive heart attack. Okay. That just drained me. It just took me dry. I put a down payment on a house to buy a house in Dallas. I had my first son born. My first child was born. I moved my girlfriend in to become my wife. And then I changed jobs. And then I had my second heart attack. So all these big life-changing events happened all in the same year in 2012. So it did not matter what I made the last 2 years, whatever money I made, it was all gone. Okay. The heart attack just sucked me dry. Okay. In 2013, I had my third heart attack, and that sucked me dry. So even though I was making an average of over $100,000 a year, right, I was dry. Okay. The reason why was because the heart medication that I was taking, the statin drug that I was taking, is called Lipitor, and that's the number one most popular selling drug in the world. And I think it still is, right? And it's a total scam. I've had 4 heart attacks already. You guys have no idea how many bottles of Lipitor that I have bought in my life. Each bottle costs $300 for 30 pills for 30 days, right? And I had to buy these stupid ass scammy drugs, right, that had no impact and no influence on reducing my chances of getting another heart attack. It has zero evidence and 0 results. Okay. I stopped taking the statin drugs because there's 0 evidence that it does anything to prevent or reduce a heart attack. Okay. I'm saying that I've had 4 heart attacks already. Okay. And I can say that. I'm telling you, it does 0. And the number of heart disease and heart attacks in America and in the Western countries and all over the world, it keeps increasing every year. And people still take this scammy drug that Lipitor makes, right? Or the brand name is called Lipitor. And there's generics called atorvastatin. Anything that has the word statin in it is the same thing. It's a statin drug. And what it does is it thins your blood so that it doesn't clog your arteries, okay? And it's none of that. And then the other drug is a Plavix, reduces your blood pressure. So there's 3 scammy heart drugs that everybody has to take when they have heart problems. A drug to reduce your blood pressure, drug to reduce the amount of cholesterol in your blood, and then the third drug is to thin your blood. One to reduce cholesterol, one to reduce your blood pressure, and the other one to thin your blood. Okay, reduce the thickness of your blood. All these things are all scams. I've been taking it for over a decade, and I've had 4 heart attacks, and I can tell you it's all scams. All scams, because there's 0 evidence that they have that it reduces or prevents a heart attack. 0. Okay. Heart attacks increase every year. You guys can look it up for yourself. Okay. Anyways, I'm just telling you guys that because I've been scammed by the drug industry in the heart stuff, you know. So I'm just sharing that with you in case you guys have a heart problem or you guys have a family or friends that have a heart attack. I'm telling you, total scam. Okay. The cause of my heart attack, in case you guys are wondering, I did not know what it was in America after having 3 heart attacks. And I'm kind of disappointed that the Texas hospitals did not identify the cause of my heart attack. And it was Bangkok Hospital that finally identified the root cause of my heart attack. And the root cause is because I have sleep apnea and I do not breathe when I'm sleeping. Okay. I did not know that. The first night that I went into the emergency room, the nurses rushed in to wake me up and tell me to breathe. Okay. I thought I was breathing when I was sleeping, you know, because when I go to sleep, I would snore a lot. My wife would always make fun of me. She would say, how do you just say good night, lay down, close your eyes and go and start snoring right away? She goes, she's never seen, you know, anybody do that. And I said, how many men have you been with? Like, how would you know if they snore? And then, you know how girls are when you ask them about their body count, right? I would ask her, like, how would you know what other guys snore or not? You know, you're my first girlfriend that I've had since I've been out of prison. How many boyfriends have you had? You know, so I was just messing with my wife about that. Anyways, the root cause, the nurses rushed into the emergency room and woke me up and reminded me to breathe. And so I said, I am breathing. They're like, no, you're not. Because they got sensors all over my body and it says, you're not breathing. Right. And so after the 9th stent that they put in my heart, the heart doctor at Bangkok Hospital requested a sleep doctor to come because my EKG and all the sensors they have on me show that I'm not breathing while I'm sleeping. So the sleep doctor came in, put like 20 gazillion sensors all over my body and my nose, on my fingers, on my toes, all over my body. And they can track what I'm doing when I'm sleeping. And they also put a video camera on me. And they discovered that I have sleep apnea, and it's really, really bad. And what do I mean by bad? The average human being pauses breathing or stops breathing like 5 times in 1 hour. And some people will stop breathing like 5 to 15 times. That's moderate. And then some people will stop breathing 15 to 30 times an hour, and that's considered severe, and you need to get treatment for it. And guess what mine was? You guys are never going to guess. Mine was 98 times per hour. I would stop breathing. So all this time I would work. When I came out of prison, I knew that I was behind at 34 years old. And so I would work like from 6 o'clock until like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock at night all the time. I always had and before I retired at 44 years old, I always had at least 2 jobs. I never in my life had less than 2 jobs. So these people say they're unemployed, they can't find a job. I have no freaking idea how they are unemployed or whatever. Because every time I wanted a job, I'd go out there and find it, right? When I came out of prison, I would work 3 jobs at a time. And later on, when I started making some money and I needed to focus on learning how to trade and learning how to build a business and stuff, it got down to like 2 jobs. But I was always working at least 2 jobs, whether it was 2 jobs for other people, or I would work a day job for someone else, and I come home and I work a job for my own company that I was trying to build. Okay, I would always be working 2 jobs. All right. And so what happened was I would work hard because I knew that one superpower that I had was that I would lay down and I would go to sleep right away. So I thought that, hey, you know what? If I lay down and can just go to sleep, I have an advantage. I might be dumb as hell. I might not be the smartest guy. I might not have any money. I might not have any family that has power, influence, or money. But at least I can work 16 hours a day, and I would lay down, go to sleep, and then I'd wake up. And then I would go at it again. What I didn't realize is that while I was sleeping, I was not breathing. So my body never had a chance to recover. So I look back at all the years that I was working 12, 14, 16 hours a day. My body, my heart never had a chance to recover. So that's why the arteries got hard. They got inflamed. The plaque started building up because my body never had a chance to recover and clean out my arteries and recover my arteries and recover my heart. So now I'm working less. I'm trying to do less. And when I say work less, I'm still doing like 6, 7, 8 hours a day, right? I like working. I like the things I'm doing. So that's one of my negatives is that I like to work. Okay, I'm not lazy. I hate lazy idiots. I hate people that are lazy. They when I get them, it's like I'd rather stand next to 100 people with COVID and with cancer than stand next to a guy that's lazy. I hate that. Okay, so what happened was my heart. Okay, and the reason I'm telling you this is that when it comes to the marginal utility of money, I realized after making all this money that there's only so much you can do to improve the quality of your life. Once you make enough money to where you can pay for your rent, your housing, your food, your health care, your transportation, and everything, there's really not much left to buy. There's really not much left to do. I'm talking to you guys on a new laptop it's new for me. It's a used laptop, but it's new for me. It's a ThinkPad P17, right? It's the last 17-inch laptop that ThinkPad makes, that Lenovo makes, okay? I like it because it has 3 hard drive slots. So I got like 12 terabytes in my laptop, and it has enough slots for me. It has 4 RAM slots, so it's 128 gigs of RAM in my laptop. So I got 12 terabytes of SSD, and then I got 128 gigs of the fastest RAM, fastest hard drives I can run. Now, why did I do that? Why did I do that? Why would I do something silly like that for? Some of you guys might think, oh, that's a very expensive laptop you got there, Ty. I said, yeah, right? Why did I do that? The reason why is because I realized that there's nothing else for me to spend money on. Now, Can I spend money to show off? Yes, I can. I can go buy Lambos. I can go buy Ferraris. I can go buy more Rolex watches. I can go buy Richard Mille watches and show off that I have money. I can. But there's really nothing else that you could, outside of showing off. Showing off and quality of life are two different concepts, right? If you want to show off that you got money, there's no limit to this, because you can always buy $100,000 car. Afterwards, you can buy a $500,000 car. Afterwards, you can buy $1 million car. Afterwards, you can buy a $5 million car, $10 million car. You can buy a $10 million yacht, $100 million yacht. There's no limit to showing off. There's no limit to bragging to people how much you have. Okay. However, on this side, for the quality of life, there is a limit. And in America right now, I would say the limit is around $10,000 to $15,000 a month. Anywhere between $7,000 or $8,000 to $15,000 a month. Right now, as of 2025, 2026, it's around there. What does that mean? That means that there's really nothing else that you can spend money on that's more than like $10,000 to $15,000 a month in the West, in Europe, and in America. In Vietnam, it's around like $4,000 or $5,000. There's really not much that you can spend money on. Like, what am I going to spend money on? The only thing I can spend money on is to show off. That's it. There's nothing else to spend it on. So I do a lot of work. I edit a lot of 4K videos, and I like making content. So I was willing to invest and have I forget how much this laptop costs. It costs a lot. It's $6,000, $7,000, $8,000. I forget how much it costs, right? But it didn't matter, because that if I can render a video instead of having to wait 30 minutes, I can do it in 15 minutes. I'd rather do it. Instead of waiting for the local AI that I set up on my laptop, instead of waiting this much time, I can only have to wait this much time, and I get the responses faster on the AI that I'm testing. That's worth it to me. That's why I did it. Okay. I bought it with the biggest graphics card that they can put inside a 17-inch laptop, and the most RAM, the most everything. So I can run my AI, and I can run my 3D AutoCAD designs for my Palace, and I can run my 4K videos smoother and better. So does that improve the quality of my life? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Hey, will a Lambo increase my quality of life right now? No, it won't. The investment that I put in, 6, 7, 8,000, whatever it was that I put into the 17-inch laptop, does that improve the quality of my life? Yes, it does. And that's just a rare instance, guys. Like, I ask my students all the time, right? Hey, if you have any ideas on anything that I can do, I can buy to improve the quality of my life, let me know. I'll go out there and I'll buy it, right? If it's to show off, I don't care. I don't care if people think that I'm rich. I don't care if people think I'm poor, right? That's why when I said the number one troll that I have, Gurgis, right? He always reminds me too that whenever he's on, that he was the number one troll on my channel. Even when he was calling me out, even when I was a multimillionaire, and he was telling me that I was a scammer, that I was not making money and all this stuff, I had no reason to prove it to him, right? I don't care. Like, I go back to Vietnam, I'm one of the wealthiest dudes in Vietnam, and my family thinks I'm a poor ass, and I'm coming back to Vietnam. I don't care. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I really don't care. All I care about is achieving my goals that I want in my life. Right now my goal is to finish building the Zen Palace for my wife and kids, right? And then to start financially educating my kids on how to make money, how to build a business, things like that. That's all I care about. And everything else I really don't give a shit about. I'm kind of disappointed that the Zen Palace is not done. I was hoping that the Zen Palace would be done so that I can do other things in Vietnam that I want to do. There's bridges I want to build. There's schools I want to build for the community in Vietnam. I don't want to die and take all my money with me. I want to, help out the country that I was born in as much as I can, right? I realize that when I say this to other Vietnamese people, they think that I'm stupid. They think I'm retarded. Like How can you make enough money already? How can you say that making more money will not improve the quality of my life? And I challenge you guys, like, let me know what can I do right now to improve the quality of my life? The only thing I can do to improve the quality of my life right now is that I have a permanent residence in Vietnam. I have a permanent residence and a home in Thailand, so that's not a problem. But I don't have a home in in Vietnam. Like I'm living in a hotel while waiting for them to build my palace, right? So that's not a home. A hotel is not a home. It doesn't matter. It does not matter if it's a 5-star hotel or not. It's not a home. Okay. And yeah, can I rent a mansion and live in there? That's not a home either. Because a home is where I can decorate it, I can set the things that I want, I can do the things I want inside my home. Right. I display these guns behind me because I like it, right? I can put my books wherever I want, I can arrange the TV however I want. If I'm renting the home from somebody else, I cannot do what I want. So that's not a home. To me, a home is I can do what I want inside my home. My wife can do what she wants inside the home. Okay, that's a home, right? So I don't have a home. So that's the only thing right now that I can think of that can improve the quality of my life. When I go out to eat every day, I eat like 1 or 2 meals a day. I don't eat a lot. Like I will go get a ribeye steak. It costs about $40-50 in Thailand or Vietnam. And that's the biggest ribeye steak that I can get, the highest quality that I can eat. Can I get like $100-200 Wagyu steak or something? Yes, I can. But one, I don't like it because there's too much fat in there. And when you cook it, it doesn't have a meat taste to it. It has more of like I'm eating a big chunk of fat. I like eating fat. It's not that I don't. But when I eat a steak, I want to eat some real meat. Okay. So, and also, I don't see the big difference between Wagyu. I had one of my channel followers. He came to Vietnam to visit me one time. He took me to this Japanese restaurant, bought me a bunch of Wagyu steak. We ate it. We had a good time. But to me, I just don't see the difference. Whenever I don't see the difference in something, I just don't feel like paying for it. Okay. So as far as food goes, I'm able to eat whatever food I want, whatever quality I want. As far as healthcare goes, I get the best hospitals, the best treatment, that I want. So there's nothing else to spend money on. Now you guys say, hey Ty, you can get a Lambo, you can get a Ferrari. I will get it in the future, but that's just a show off. That's just a show off. It's not going to improve the quality of my life any, right? If you think about it, I like making content. I don't like driving. So I would rather get an Uber or a Grab ride and let the driver drive while I'm in the back. I make a video and I can make phone calls to my students, talk to my clients, talk to my students. I'd rather do that, talk to my business partner, talk to my friends instead of driving. So am I going to get a supercar someday? Yeah, when I finish building the palace, I'll get a supercar. But I'm not really, I just don't feel the need that I have to show off that I got supercars to impress people or anything like that. I think that when you go out there and you try to impress people, right? I think that it's a sign that you're a weak ass man, that you're a low value man. I don't consider that like a high value man. I don't consider that you're a strong masculine man when you have to go impress people that you got money. You got to impress a girl that you got money. Nothing conveys that you're a weak ass man more than trying to impress other people. That's why I don't give a shit. That's why when my number one troll, Gurgis, when he was trolling me, I have no reason to try to impress him, because if I try to impress him that I got money or I know what I'm doing, then that means that I'm a weak ass man. So I don't like doing that. Okay. So that's the, do you guys have any questions about what I'm saying about the marginal utility of money, and that there's a certain point, like in Asia, you get to around, you spend about $4,000 or $5,000 a month. There's nothing else to spend money on to improve the quality of your life. Okay. I have housekeepers coming in to clean my house for me and for my wife. I have people cooking. I have all that already. So what else is there I can do to improve the quality of my life? Right. I don't like having to drive my kids to class to learn Chinese. I don't like to have to take the kids to class to go learn martial arts, learn jujitsu or learn Muay Thai or anything like that. So I already have an assistant that I hired, an assistant to help me do that. So, so I hired people to help me do the things that I don't want to do or don't have time to do. So what else is there to do to improve the quality of my life? What else? If you guys have any ideas, let me know. That does not involve showing off. I'm not asking you to give me suggestions on how to show off. If I want to show off, I know how to do that already. Okay, that's not really hard to do. But what can I do to improve the quality of my life? Okay, so what can I do? Okay. Okay. One of my students, Jung, he's in Vietnam. He made enough. He took our course. He started our course and he made enough profits. And he left Australia and he came back to retire in Vietnam. And the question that he's asking me here in the group chat is that what happens after you make the life-changing profits? How can I avoid feeling lost when I don't know what to do next? And he's not the only one that has this issue or this question or this concern. Everyone on my team has the exact same question. Everyone on my team has the exact same concern. Hey, Ty, now that I've made life-changing profits, what do I do now? I'm only 25 years old. I'm only 30 years old. I'm only 35 years old. I'm only 40 years old. I made this life-changing profit after taking your course. What do I do now? Right? The answer to that is, what do you want to do? And you don't have to have an answer for the rest of your life. What I recommend and what me and the Honorable Grandmaster, legendary, world-renowned LeonFu.com has discovered is that we don't need to set a lifetime goal, right? What we do is we take it small steps at a time and we just set like a 2 to 3 year goal. Like in 2026, in 2027, I know that my goal is to complete the construction of Zen Palace version 2. Okay, that's it. And then what do I do after that? Well, that would be 2026, right? 2026, 2027, and possibly even 2028. Those 2 to 3 years, my main focus is finish the construction of Zen Palace 2. Okay. After that, I can see that my primary goal will be 2 things. One is to set up my family office and focus on the education for my kids, right? To take over the family wealth and how to inherit the assets that I leave for them. Okay, so that's my main focus, and that all just those 2 goals alone, right? Finish the construction of Zen Palace version 2, set up my family, the Zen family office, and then set up the education system for my kids and grandkids. That alone will take 3 to 5 years, and that's all I need to care about. I don't need to worry about what I'm going to do when I'm in my 60s or 70s or 80s. I don't need to be focused on that at the moment. I just need to focus on the first 2 to 3 years. And that's what I would say to Jill in NetJang right now, and to my other students and to our channel followers, is focus on the next 2 to 3 years. That's it. Okay. Damn Fam TV asks, will we get the same bear and bull market cycle moving like previous ones? Or there will be much smaller movements? I don't know why you guys ask me these stupid ass questions for. The reason why they're stupid ass questions is because I've told you guys hundreds and thousands of times that there are 2 questions in trading and investing that no one can answer. No one, not Warren Buffett, not Ray Dalio, no one can answer these questions. And what are these 2 questions? How much and when? How much profit will I make? And when will the market go up or down? These 2 questions, nobody can answer them. So when you're asking me, hey, will the bear market be the same? That means you're asking me, hey, will the length of the bear market be the same? Will the length of the bull market be the same? Will the frequency, okay, which means how? I mean, Will the market go up and down? Will it be the same? Will it go up 1x, 2x, 3x, 4x? Will it collapse the same? Nobody knows. Like, why would you? I have never once wasted time asking somebody if they think the market's going to go up some more or down some more. Never, because I already know that there is nobody on this damn earth that can answer those two questions. If they are, they're full of shit, man. Like, why would you ask somebody that you know you can't answer that? That's like asking somebody, hey, man, when am I going to die? You guys know when I'm going to die? I just had a fourth heart attack. Do you know when I'm going to die? No, nobody knows. So why would you go and ask a stupid-ass question like that when nobody freaking knows the answer? Right? Nobody knows. I don't ever waste time. That is the dumbest question to ask. What question is a smart question to ask? What is a smart question to ask? What is an efficient question to ask? What is a good question to ask? Okay? A good question to ask is, hey, when the market goes down, what should I do? When the market goes up, what should I do? What should I do if the market goes sideways? What if the market crashes 50%? What should I do? If the market goes up 50%, 1x, 2x, 3x, what should I do? How should I plan my goals so that I take profits efficiently? Those questions are excellent questions to ask. Those questions are smart questions to ask. I'm not going to answer none of those questions right here, right? Why not? Because I already answered it in our crypto course. If you genuinely want to learn it, just go sign up for it. And everything that I'm going to teach my kids, I recorded it and put it in the course already. So if you're genuinely serious about it, why wouldn't you go learn it? Well, why are you asking me here, right? I spent the entire week explaining it to a whole audience of students. I recorded it and I make it available on my website. Go get it, okay? It's not even expensive. It's like $2,000. It's nothing, okay? Take out $2,000 out of your portfolio, go register, you get all your questions answered, okay? What I cannot answer in the course are the decisions that my team has made to like when we reach a sticking point or we encounter a situation in life, how do we make a decision to solve this problem? So those are the things that I like to share on our channel. But if you want to know how we make life-changing profits and how our team has produced over 100 millionaires already, that's not that hard. You don't even have to ask me for permission. Just go to sign up, get it. That's it. Okay? Don't make it difficult, right? So, and this guy, Void 1001, asked me, has your stance on Bitcoin and crypto markets changed late, or do you still have the same conviction? Dude, we started the first channel on the freaking internet to teach people about trading and investing in crypto. Why would our conviction change now? Why? Like, why? Why would our conviction change? If our conviction changed about Bitcoin or crypto, you should not listen to us. That means we're a bunch of bullshitters. We're a bunch of fake asses. You should not listen to us. You should just cut the damn video off and go listen to somebody else. We started the first channel. Who do you think was brave enough to go out there? The first dozen or so cryptos that came out in the market, we were the first ones to tell people to invest into it. There is no evidence that another person out there has made a video to tell people to invest, to interview Vitalik, the founder of Ethereum, and tell people to invest in it. I was the only one. I was the only one, right? Our team was the only one. I was telling people, I was the only one telling people that I put my life savings into crypto. So if you ask me if I have a conviction about it, have my convictions changed? Has my belief changed about crypto? Hell no. It's the same. The fact that you ask that question means that you don't understand the value of crypto. That's it. That's the only reason. If you genuinely understand the value of Bitcoin and crypto, you would know that my convictions have not changed. And while we're at it, I will share with you, because this is so important, because I get so many people asking me this question in Vietnam, right? That I'm going to go ahead and repeat it right now, the answer. What gives Bitcoin and crypto value? What gives it value? Is it because I'm buying it? Hell no. Is it because the banks are buying it? Hell no. Is it because Michael Saylor's buying it? Hell no. Is it because the governments agree that we should have crypto? It's none of that. If you believe that Bitcoin has value because Michael Saylor is buying Bitcoin, you're an idiot. You are an idiot. You have no idea what the value of Bitcoin is. If you believe that BlackRock, the banks, the institutions, the ETFs is what gives Bitcoin value, you are an idiot. You have no idea what Bitcoin is. You still don't understand what it is. The reason why Bitcoin and crypto has value is because of this. There's many reasons, but I'm going to share with you guys. I'm going to repeat for the 1,000th time, right? In case I die of a fifth heart attack or something, so that it's recorded so you guys understand. I've been saying this for over a decade already. The reason why Bitcoin and crypto has value, the first one is because it is censorship resistant. What the hell does censorship resistant mean? Okay. You guys are worried about, like people in Vietnam, they always say, oh, America's a great country because there's freedom of speech. Nobody censors your speech, whatever. That's a bunch of bullshit. Freedom of speech is not important, man. You know what's important? Important is your money does not get censored. If you want to spend your money and send it to person A, you can send it to person A. If you want to buy product A or product B, no one can stop you. No government, nobody can stop you. That has more value than if you can say whatever you want. Okay? For example, censorship means that the government cannot come in or another person cannot come in and censor your financial transaction. For example, stupid ass Belgium. Stupid ass Belgium. Why do I call them stupid ass Belgium? Because they're stupid ass. Because they have a clearing center in Belgium. They clear all the euro transactions for the EU. They clear all the transactions. And what did the dumbasses in Belgium do? And when I say the dumbasses in Belgium, I'm not talking about like the people of Belgium. The people of Belgium are smart. They're not stupid, okay? But the central banks in Belgium, the clearing houses, the people that print money and manage and control where the money goes, they decided to censor like $230 billion of Russian money because of the war in Ukraine or in Russia. I don't want you guys to hear me and think that I'm supporting Putin, I'm supporting Russia, or I'm supporting Ukraine. Don't worry about that. Who I support, it doesn't freaking matter, okay? What matters is that Belgium agreed that they would remain neutral and not censor any financial transactions that goes through their system. However, the war started, and guess what they did? They censored $230 billion that belongs to Russian companies and Russian businesses. Why? Because they don't like what Putin's doing. Imagine that. You don't like what my government's doing and you come censor my money, my financial transactions. I'm not going to like that. Nobody likes that. Nobody likes that. You guys got to really pay attention to what Belgium is doing or whoever it is that's censoring that $230 billion. Whoever's holding it and not releasing it and giving it back to the Russian citizens and the Russian businesses. Okay? That money does not belong to Belgium. That money does not belong to Europe. That money does not belong to anybody in Europe. It belongs to people in Russia. If you don't like Putin, go kick his ass. Go kick his butt. But don't take the money from people that have nothing to do with what he's doing. Okay? So that's what I would say. Okay? Is that the number one value of Bitcoin and crypto is that it is censorship resistant. Can the government censor it? Can another human being come in and say, Ty, you cannot make this transaction? And you say, look, take this and shove it up your butt. Okay? I'm going to make this transaction regardless if you like it or not. Okay? That's what gives Bitcoin and crypto the value. It's not because of BlackRock. It's not because of the banks. It's not because of the government. It's because it's the first time in human history. We've been on this earth for millions of years, and no one has ever been able to invent a financial system or a money that cannot be censored. Now it's the first time. Some of you guys say, hey, yeah, Ty, we can still censor it. The banks can still censor it. The government can still censor it, because when you convert the money to fiat at the banks, right, at the gateways where you enter and exit the system, they can still be censored. And you are right. The fiat can always be censored. The fiat money can always be censored, but not Bitcoin, not crypto, right? You cannot censor that, okay? So that's why it has value. If you say that Bitcoin has value because of BlackRock or because the governments are making new laws for it, you're an idiot. That means you don't understand Bitcoin. That means you genuinely do not understand, right? These idiots online in the media talk about, oh, BlackRock is going here, ETF is going there, and all this shit. They're idiots. I'm trying to keep it as polite and PG-13 as possible, guys, but that's not my personality. Okay, you guys know that. I'm trying really hard to censor my own language because I have several students that have asked me, hey, Ty, keep it PG-13 so my kids can watch it and learn from your knowledge and the experience from your team. Okay, so I'm trying very hard. Okay, but you guys know what I really mean. Idiots. Don't be a foolish idiot and believe that Bitcoin has value because of BlackRock, because of an ETF. Idiots. Okay, I would never, anybody that opens their mouth and says that Bitcoin has value because thanks to the government or thanks to an financial institution, thanks to a hedge fund, I would not listen to a damn word that guy says. He has no clue, zero knowledge and zero understanding of why Bitcoin has value. Zero. I would not pay attention to him. I would unsubscribe, unfollow, and tell my friends, never follow that idiot. Okay? The second reason why Bitcoin and crypto has value is because of this. It's permissionless. It's permissionless. What does permissionless mean? Permission means that you have to ask somebody to confirm or acknowledge that you can do something. If I want to send money to you, I got to ask the government for permission. I got to ask the bank for permission. Can I send this money to you? Right? And the bank says, okay, we approve that. Go ahead and send it to him. The government says, yeah, we approve that. Go ahead and send it to him. You guys see that? That's called permission. If the banks don't agree with it, I can't send you the transaction. Bitcoin and crypto is the first currency, the first money and currency system in the universe, in the entire known universe. We're talking about the solar system that we're in. I'm talking about the Milky Way galaxy and any other galaxy out there. Okay? There's no universe, galaxy in this dimension or the next dimension or any dimension that has ever invented a currency, okay, that cannot be censored. On this planet Earth, we're the first species in the known universe to have invented a money that cannot be censored. And you don't need any permission. You don't need to ask anybody on Mars, on the moon, in the US government, in the Thai government, in the Vietnamese government, in the Chinese Communist. You don't need to ask anybody for permission. Whenever you feel like it, download the Bitcoin wallet, download the crypto wallet, and start sending and receiving transactions. Nobody can, you need permission from anybody. Anybody. Okay? That's the second reason why Bitcoin and crypto has value. If you don't understand that, you don't understand Bitcoin and crypto. Okay? What's the third reason? The third reason why Bitcoin and crypto has value is because it's immutable. What does the fancy word immutable mean? You know, when I use the word immutable, I sound like an educated person. Even though I dropped out of high school, never went to college, I'm a high school dropout. But when I use the words immutable, I sounds educated. Okay, I sounds educated. Okay, the word immutable, in case you're an idiot and an uneducated person like me, it means that it cannot be erased. It cannot be deleted. So the entire Bitcoin and crypto, it doesn't matter what Bitcoin or what crypto network that you guys use, it cannot be erased. The data stays there forever. You cannot erase it. You can only update the network. Okay? You cannot erase it. Okay? I'll give you an example. When the Communist Party came in and took my family's assets, okay, they confiscated all my family's assets. My uncle had some land that his aunt left to him. Okay, one of my aunts did not have any children, so my uncle was the only. My aunt asked my grandfather, "Can I have one of your sons?" Because my grandfather had like 8 kids. Can I have one of your kids? I want to have a kid. I don't have any kids. So my grandfather said, yes, you can take my number 7 son. So he gave my number 7 son to my aunt. So my aunt took care of her. of him. My aunt died. She left all her lands to my uncle number 7. Okay. My uncle, because of the war, we had to leave Vietnam and try to escape the war. So my dad and my uncle, we left. Like I said, we went to the refugee camps in Malaysia, and then we went to the refugee in America, right? My uncle, when he finally came back one day, when he made enough money, he decided to come back and visit Vietnam. He went and looked at his aunt's land that was given to him, and he no longer owns it. Why? Because he was in America, and somebody came in, lived on his land, took the land, and then registered with the government that that's their land. So it's no longer my uncle's land. My uncle comes back and he says, this is my land. My aunt left it to me. Where's the records? Where's the evidence? There is no evidence. There is no record. My uncle has no records because of the war. Everything got burned down. Everything got bombed. Everything got destroyed. The U.S. dropped more bombs, 3 times more bombs in the small country of Vietnam than they did all of Europe during World War II. You watch movies like Dunkirk, you watch all those World War II movies, and you think they dropped a lot of bombs in Europe? It was nothing compared to what the Americans dropped in Vietnam when they came in to invade Vietnam. Okay? They dropped 3 times more bombs in Vietnam than they did in Europe during World War II. Okay, so despite what you guys think, right, that Europe had a bad war, it was even worse in Vietnam. Okay, so my uncle has no records that the land belongs to him, so he cannot get it back. He cannot get it back, right? So the reason why Bitcoin and all the crypto networks have value is because they are immutable. You cannot do anything to erase the data, right? The first Bitcoin transaction I ever made will always be there. The Bitcoin transaction that I sent to go buy my first ethers from Vitalik, it's still there. It's never going to be gone. It will always be there. Okay. No one can do anything to erase it. They can only update the network. That means, what does it mean to update it? It means that they can show that I sent the Bitcoins to Vitalik and then where he sent it after that. But other than that, you cannot destroy that data. That data will always be there. Okay. Until all the stars burn out, until there's no more energy, until all the electrons stop moving and stop shaking, right? The data will always be there. Let me summarize. Bitcoin and crypto has value because it cannot be censored. It does not require you to ask permission from the government or anyone to use it. And no one can erase it, not even the government. Okay. That's why it has value. That's why it has value. It's not because I'm buying it. It's not because our team is buying it. It's not because I invest in crypto. It's not because my team is investing into it. It's not because all these idiots online are talking about Bitcoin's going up and down. It's none of that. It's because of those 3 things. There's more. There's more features that give Bitcoin value. There's more. But those are the 3 main reasons. If somebody tells you that Bitcoin is going up and has value and they don't mention those 3 things, they're an idiot that has zero understanding of Bitcoin. Zero. Okay, don't listen to them. Okay, so I know that's long to answer Void 10,001 when he asked me about my convictions. No, majority of my wealth and all my team's wealth are still in crypto. Okay. Damn Fam TV says, would you still recommend retiring in Vietnam? Yes, I do. Vietnam is one of the safest, one of the best countries to retire in because hey, listen, guys. You want to go with winners. When you grow up, when you're poor, you want to select friends that are on a trend going up. Like if you pick me coming out, I dropped out of high school. I went and sold drugs, right? I'm not the guy you want to follow. If you were in high school when you're around 18, 19, 20 years old, I'm not the guy you want to follow. Why? Because I'm on a clear trend to go to prison. I'm not going to be doing well. When you select a city, when I came out of prison, one of the advantages that I had, right, that helped me get back on my feet and do well and become wealthy was because I happened to end up in the city of Austin, Texas. And in 2006, Austin, Texas was the fastest booming, growing city in America. So I landed in a city that was on its way going up. Huge advantage for me, okay? You want to select friends that are trending up, You want to select a city that is trending up. You want to select a country that is trending up. Vietnam is growing at a pace of 6-7% a month. I know, 6-7, right? Um, anyways, that's where you want to be. You want to be in a city that's growing. You want to be. That's why I selected Da Nang, because it's one of the fastest growing cities in Vietnam. One of the fastest growing. Like, the government's pouring so much money into it to make it grow even faster, while the country's already growing fast already, right? So it's like being on a rocket ship and the government strapping other rockets engines to it so you can go even faster, right? So that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. The other thing too is this, right? So that's why I say Vietnam. And the cost of living, it has increased in the last few years. Like, when I came back to Vietnam, I think $1, you can exchange it for like 22,500 dong. That's the currency used in Vietnam. And now it's like 26,200. So did the inflation go up? Did the government print more money? Did the money lose value? Yes, it did. But it still beats America. It still beats Australia. It still beats Europe. Okay. And then we got like 1,300 miles of beach. Just close your eyes and just pick one and go there. Okay. So yes, I would still say that Vietnam's a good value for the money. And the thing is that it's safe. That's the first thing I look at when I go to a country. Is it safe? Can my kids run around and not get mugged, not get killed, not have stupid ass illegal immigrants trying to stab them and cut them up? That's what I want. I want safety first. And then the next thing is that, is there, good amenities here, right? Are the amenities in Vietnam the same as in Bangkok? No, it's not. It's still a developing country. It's still growing, right? However, it's more than enough for me to have my family. Keep in mind, guys, I can live anywhere I want. I have enough money to live anywhere I want. I can live in Hong Kong. I can live in Manhattan. I can live in, Sydney. I can live in downtown Sydney. I can live in downtown Bangkok, which I am right now. I can live in Dubai. I can live anywhere. I chose Vietnam because it's a good value for money. It doesn't matter how much money you make. People, if you were a prudent person with your money, if you were prudent, which means you're careful with your money, then you're always going to want value. You're always going to shop for value. Even if you have all the money in the world, it doesn't matter. You still want value for your money, right? Like, when me and my business partners and my friends go eat the steaks in Bangkok, we get a big ass steak, a T-bone, right? No, not T-bone, but a tomahawk ribeye. That would cost us like 50, 60, 70 bucks, 50, 60, $70 in Vietnam or Bangkok. And that would cost us like $200, $300 in America. The same damn steak. So, I mean, you get value, okay? And some people might say, hey, Ty, that's because you make a higher income, or you have a higher income, or you have more money than the local people there. And what? What are you trying to say? So what? I was willing to do the things to get to where I'm at today. So what are you saying? What are you making that comparison for? What are you making that comparison for? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I still recommend Vietnam. Dubai is also appealing. Dubai is very appealing. Singapore used to be a rich country. It still is a rich country, and it has lots of value, but it's no longer it no more. It's not. Dubai is the new Singapore, right? Hong Kong is also good, but the real estate in Hong Kong might be too expensive. Any place in China is good. If you're outside of like the major city centers, like if you're not in downtown Beijing, you're not in downtown Shanghai, you're not in the downtown, any place in China is good. Along the coast, any place is good. Like my business partners have moved to China now. They left the U.S., they're moving in China now, in Shenzhen and the Hong Kong area, and it's magnificent, right? My goal is to get a home in China also, okay? Why? Because it's going up. Anything that's trending up, you want to ally with them, you want to befriend them, you want to get to know them, and you want to surround yourself with winners, not losers, okay? Okay. Void 10,001 asks, what's the purpose of purchasing your course? Can students keep in contact? I have a small private group chat. There's about 600 students in there, right? And anything that I think of about the markets, I share with them. Hey, don't get our course and expect me to tell you something every day, because everything, our course is it's on version 2 in the English version, and then the version 3 on the Vietnamese version. Everything that we know, we recorded in there. There's hardly anything. If you're a new student, there's hardly, I challenge you to ask us something that our students haven't asked already. Okay. And I'm working on version 4 right now. And when we release the version 4, there's nothing that you can ask us until you make about 10, 20, $50 million. Okay. So don't worry about that. Okay. The name of the city that I'm building the Zen Palace in, where I live, is called Da Nang. This student is asking me to spell the name of the city. Okay. Let me see. Okay. This is a good question. Darren Jamrock 2677 asked me, hey, would I do the same things again to make the life-changing profits? The answer is yes. There's only 2 ways to make life-changing profits, guys. Okay, there's only 2 ways. I've talked to so many people that have made life-changing profits. There's only 2 ways, guys. One is to build a business system that sells a product or a service that the market wants. Number 2 is you take your money and you invest into the first guy to do it. That's it. When we invest in the Bitcoin, when we invest in the Ethereum, what are we doing? We're investing into for another guy to do it, to solve a problem in the markets. Bitcoin is solving a problem in the market. We don't know how to do it. We don't want to do it. We have no idea how to do it. So we're taking our money, we're investing into Bitcoin so that their team can do it. Whoever, all the developers, the community of Bitcoin, they can do it, right? We don't know how to make smart contracts. So when we buy Ethereum, we're letting them guys do it. We don't know how to do smart contracts. We buy Solana tokens, let them guys do it. That's it. There's only 2 ways. There's guys that said there's a million ways. Right? No, there isn't. Right? Right? Just go. You know, just like Dave Chappelle, the famous comedian in America, right? He said that, you know, he goes to the grocery stores. He sees the magazines that they sell in the grocery stores. They say there's 100 ways, there's 1,000 ways to please a man, right? These women magazines, they talk about there's 100 ways to please a man. And Dave Chappelle says there's no 100 ways to please a man. There's only 4 ways to please a man, right? And I'm going to try to keep it as PG-13 as I can, okay? All right? These are not the exact words he says, because I got, you know, formatted so it's PG-13 for all the kids, okay? You know, Dave Chappelle says, hey, number 1, you know, is kiss the man, have sex with the man, make him a sandwich, and shut the hell up and stop talking. That's it. That's all the woman needs to know. There's only 4 ways to please a man. See, I'm talking to you guys and with my wife too. She came in, she brought me a bowl of pho that she made, right? That's it. And then she leaves, she's quiet. You guys never even heard her coming in. That's it. That's it. That's how you please a man. If you're a woman listening to this, men are very simple, right? Kiss him, have sex with him, make him a sandwich to eat, and shut the hell up. Shut the hell up. Don't say nothing to him. Other than, hey, come here so I can kiss you, or come here so I can have sex with you. That's it. Don't say nothing else. Okay? So what I would do is this, right? I would, if I was a kid right now, I was 15 years old, I would do my best to try to build a business that solves a problem out in the markets. I would just look around and I would say, hey, man, what are the problems in the market that nobody wants to solve? And I would try to build a business to solve that problem. Why did we create the cryptocurrency investing blueprint? Why did we create this course for? Right? And by the way, in the version 4, when I come out with version 4, it will no longer be called the cryptocurrency investing blueprint. It's going to be called the Taifu investing system. Okay, because I realize now that when you start making more money, you have to like buy bonds and you have to do a lot of things to protect your money. So it's not accurate to say that it's just cryptocurrency. Okay, it's really how our team invests in the markets. We're tech investors, and this is how we invest in the markets. This is how we reduce the taxes. This is how we protect our money. These are all the things that we do. Okay, so it's not just crypto. There's a lot of things we do in there, you know, to reduce taxes, to protect our assets, how we pass on to the next generation, things like that. So to say that it's just crypto is just not accurate, okay? So it's going to be called the Taifu investing system when version 4 comes out, okay? And if you get the course now, You don't worry about buying version 4. You're going to get the update at no cost. Okay. Remember, we created a Taifu investing system to teach our kids. We didn't create it to sell to you guys, right? But when I was working at the trading school, they didn't want to make it. So me and my business partners, we had to go out and we make it because the market wanted it and they didn't want to make it. Okay. So that's the first thing I would do to make life-changing profits is that I would go and learn how to build a business, right? Once you build a business that does like 500,000 in revenues or a million in revenues, or even a few 100,000 in revenues, you start to understand how business works. You understand how value is created out in the world. Then when you go and become an investor, you know what to invest, what projects, what companies to invest in, because you've built a business. You know what it takes to build a business, and you know these guys are doing it right. You guys know if these guys are doing it efficient. If you guys know, you will know if these guys are doing it well or not. And that's when you decide to take a small piece of your money and go invest in these guys to do it. And that's how I would do it. Okay. That's how I would start making life-changing profits. I would start off by building a business and learn from it. It doesn't matter if I fail or not, right? I'm still going to learn a lot. And then if I fail the first business, I'll start a second business. If I fail the second one, I'll start a third one. And then I would go from there. And then by the time I get to the second and third business, I'm going to start making money. I understand it. So now I'm going to start looking at how to invest into other companies and other projects and other businesses. Right? Tommy EB4B says that he's surprised I have a second heart attack. I look like I'm 40 years old. First of all, it's not my second heart attack. It's my fourth one. The doctor said I'm supposed to be dead already. I'm supposed to be up there at the pearly gates talking to St. Peter right now and not talking to you guys. But God, Buddha, Allah does not want me to go yet. So I'm still here with you guys. The second thing is I'm not 40. I'm 54 years old. Okay. Okay. Void 10,001 is asking that if I had to do it all over again, would I, take the risk and do the things, right, to do what I'm doing now? Yes, I would. But there's things I didn't know. Like you guys might think, hey, Ty, you're working 16 hours a day. That's why, you have 4 heart attacks already. That's not the reason. The reason is because I had sleep apnea and I was not breathing while I was sleeping, right? And I did not know that this happens to all men. This happens to all people. If you're snoring, I thought that snoring was a signal that I was sleeping good. Snoring is not a signal that you're sleeping good. Snoring is a signal that you are not breathing and your body is gasping for air. Okay? So you need to ask somebody around you, your partner, your parents, your family, your friends around you, hey, when I sleep, am I snoring? If you're snoring, you need to go get a checkup with a sleep doctor and do a sleep test. They will put about 20 sensors around your body. They will test. You got to stay in the hospital one night, so you can sleep, so they can do the test on your body to see if you're breathing or not while you sleep. And they're going to put a video camera on you, and they're going to map out and show you if you're sleeping or not. Okay? I would recommend if you're over 30 years old that you get a sleep test. It does not cost that much. It only takes one day. Go get it done so that you know if you're breathing or not. Because my sleep doctor tells me that it happens to all men. It happens to everybody. Usually men over 30, and if you're overweight, it's even more. Okay? So that's one thing I would check. The second thing I would do, if I had to do it all over again, is I would go get a blood test and do a micronutrient test and a hormone test to check my hormones, to see if they're balanced, to check my micronutrients, right? Like vitamin A, B, C, D, and all like that. So one of the things that, the second reason, besides not breathing while I'm sleeping and the sleep apnea causing my heart attack, the second thing is that I don't have enough vitamin D. So I used to be a personal trainer. I used to train people a lot. When I had a heart attack, I stopped training people in 2009 after I had my heart attack. It was really hard for me to train people anymore because I couldn't keep up with my clients, right? I specialize in training people to get big and strong and to have good agility to change directions quick when they're playing sports. So that's my specialty, right? Getting people big and strong fast and then changing directions when they're playing sports quick, right? So I couldn't do that anymore because of my heart attack. I didn't have the energy. I couldn't keep up. Like when I try to train somebody to squat 5, 6, 700 pounds, I didn't have enough energy to keep up with them. And it's very difficult. I couldn't do that all day. I can train one person, right? But I wouldn't be able to train like, 6, 7, 8 guys like I used to anymore. And so that's why I decided to go do something and learn, to really get serious about learning the trade so that I can make money without having to use my physical body. Okay. I would do the hormone micronutrient test and so that I can see what vitamins are missing. So my body had no vitamin D in it. Why is that? Vitamin D is the number one vitamin for your heart that your heart needs to function correctly. And I had no vitamin D. It was so low, you might as well say I had none. Okay. Why is that? Because when I stopped being a personal trainer and I came in and started working in the office all the time, I had no more sunlight. And you need sunlight to produce. Vitamin D is the only vitamin that your body requires sunlight to produce. And since I was not out in the sun anymore, training people, I had no reason I was in the office. I was in the office under, electric light bulbs all day long. So my body's not producing enough vitamin D. Okay. And I did not know that. So I was not breathing without sleep so that my heart can recover. And I did not have no vitamin D so my heart can function. So that's what I would do. If I had to do it all over again, I would get the micro nutrients test, hormone test, and I would do a sleep test. Those 3 things, just to rule out any problems so that for prevention. That's what I would do. Would I still work 14, 16 hours a day? Yes. I like work. I'm not lazy. So. So Kim Guy said that Joe Rogan talks about the life-changing surgery in his sinus. One of my friends is he has a very big YouTube channel. You can look him up. He provides good information on his channel. Man, after this 4th heart attack, it's just my ability to recall my memory is I can tell it's been affected. What is his name? Neil. He's a British guy. If you guys search online, his channel, his name is Neil McCoy. Neil McCoy. It is a big YouTube channel. Right. You can go check him out, follow him, right? So he's got the sinus surgery that you're talking about, Kim Guy. To fix his sleep apnea, he had the nose and the throat surgery to remove the blockage, right? So man, the Gergis was one of my number one. He was undisputed number one troll on my channel, right? And now he's the number one comedian on my channel. He made a comment. He goes, "I'm living rent free in your head, Ty." Okay, yeah, I guess you're living rent free, right? Okay, so Gerges says that he was trolling me on my channel back when I first started my channel because he was bored, I genuinely thought Gerges was a troll. What was that? Was a bot. I really did. I genuinely thought that he was a bot, right? Because I said, man, this guy can't be that stupid, man. Like, I on my channel, I explained I invested into like the first dozen coins that came on the market. So how can I be poor? What am I scamming people about? I'm just telling them what I'm investing into. Like, I'm not telling anyone to invest. I'm just telling you, sharing the information. I interview the founders and shit. I just share the information with people. And I genuinely thought that Gerges was not a real person. I thought that he was a bot, a comment bot created by the Bitcoin maximalists to shut me up, to hurt my channel. That's what I thought he was, right? I didn't realize he was a real human being until like a few years ago when he showed up on one of my live streams and he said, "Hey, this is Gergus," and I remembered him, and I thought I was surprised that he was a real human being. I thought it was a bot the whole time, right? Right. I hope that Gergus made some money from my channel, man. I hope that he learned from my channel and made some money. I would hate to think that he trolled me for a decade and ended up broke, man. That would really suck, man. Jackknife says I should spend money on longevity, like Brian Johnson is doing. I don't worry about those things, guys. To be honest with you, I've been through a lot in my life. When it's time to die, I'll go. I'll go peacefully. I'm not gonna sit there and struggle and cry. I think that's weak ass shit, man. I don't think that when it's time for a man to go, he should just go. When my time is up, when my battery is empty and it's done, I'm done. I don't care if I leave millions behind or money behind or I didn't spend the money. I eat well. I try to eat carefully. I exercise. The only thing I didn't know was I had no idea that I was not breathing when I was sleeping. So I bought a breathing machine now. So it helps me. I bought a sleep style a machine. It's from the company that makes it. It's called F&P, and the brand is called Sleep Style. And I bought one of those machines, and it at night it pumps air into my nose, into my lungs. So and what it is the back of your neck, your tongue drops down like this. When you lay down, the tongue drops, and it covers and it blocks the passage. It blocks the airway. So when you use a breathing machine, it blows air into it, and it leaves the gap open so that air can come through. So whether you're breathing or not, you still get air into your lungs. So do I feel better now? Yes, I do. I feel less fatigue during the day. I don't feel sleepy during the day anymore, right? Before I would feel sleepy, I would feel fatigued. I didn't know why. And now I know, because my body was not recovering at night. I was not sleeping and not breathing, right? Here's the thing, guys. All that stuff that people do for longevity, and in the end, like my ancestors before me, they lived to be like 70, 80 something years old, and they all die. So if I live to be 70, 80 years old and I die, that's normal. I'm not going to sit there and try to be stressed out and try to live another year or 2 years. When it's time to go, I'll go. Right. Wang Dui, YouTube 1384 asking, what is your watch and why did you choose that watch? I used to have a Rolex over here, just for the hell of it, just for fun, right? There was no other reason to wear it other than for fun, right? This watch is by Amazfit. It's a T-Rex Pro, and I wore it just to keep track of my heart, right? My heart rate. It does not, in my opinion, it does not do a good job. Everybody online says it does this. It's supposed to be better than the Garmin watch. I've tested several watches. They're all the same. The reason why I say they're all garbage is because of this. Because they all have a delay in the heart rate sensor. Like, this is the only one that does not have a heart rate. There's only a delay when you first turn it on, right here. But after it senses it, it's able to right there. See that? My heart rate's at 61. My oxygen level's at 99. And the reason why, and it can keep track of it in real time. So as long as I have it on my finger, I know what my heart rate is. Okay. This one right here, you got to press the button, and there's no function or no feature where if you just want the heart rate, that's the main reason why you get the watch. There's no feature or no function where you just keep the heart rate on and all it just shows is the heart rate. And even if it does, you put it on there, the fucking screen disappears, or the heart rate is not in real time. There's a delay in it. So it's not useful when I'm exercising, I'm doing stuff. It's not useful. This one is more useful. That's why I carry it with me, right? This one you have to hit the heart rate like I'm doing right now. See that? I don't know if you guys can see it. And then I gotta hit the refresh button, and then it's gotta refresh and update it, right? So that's the reason why. My heart rate says 66, right? The reason why it's that low, it's supposed to be 78. My normal resting heart rate is 78. The reason why it's that low is because I'm taking, I just got the stent put in, and I have to take all those scam heart drugs right now just to prevent the first like month or two when you get a new stent. There's a risk that it can clog back up. So you want to take those pills to prevent the stent from clogging it up. Okay. Dewey Lynn says that how can I get rich when I'm not intelligent? Do you need intelligence to become rich and wealthy? Yes, you do. What if you're born a dumbass like me? Okay, well then you got to borrow the intelligence from somebody else. See, that's the part that nobody ever tells you. Do you need intelligence to become like really like create lots of wealth and big money and big wealth? Yes, you do. You can't be a dumbass and create life-changing profits. However, that intelligence does not have to be yours. If you can borrow that intelligence from someone else, it can still help you. Like I borrow the intelligence off my team, from the guys on my team. I'm the dumbest guy on my team. All the guys on my team are way smarter than me. All the guys, I'm the only one that dropped out of high school. All the guys in my team, they all finished high school. They all finished college. They all got college degrees. They were all making $100,000 income when they were in their mid-20s. And I did that intentionally. When I came out of prison, I know I'm not that freaking smart. So for me to get ahead, I need to be around guys that are smarter than me. So I always try to have friends that are smarter than me. I don't try to have friends that are dumber than me. I try to have allies that are smarter than me. Like if I see an ally and I say, this guy is dumber than me, I'm already dumb. I don't need this guy around me. I need guys that are smarter than me. That's what I do. So the question is, how can you get rich when you're not intelligent? Simple. You just borrow the intelligence from somebody else. So why do like the majority of my students, why do they enroll into our course, into our investing course? The reason why is because they want to borrow our intelligence. They want to borrow our experience. They want to borrow our knowledge. They want to borrow the mistakes that we've already made, and we repeat to you guys what the mistakes are so you don't do them. Okay? That's what you do. Gerges asked, do you think that Bitcoin Core is being compromised? Yeah, it's already been compromised. It was originally created as an electronic, peer-to-peer electronic cash. Now it's been converted to a store of value, right? So I don't worry about if it's being compromised. I don't worry about any future civil wars that happen in Bitcoin Core anymore. The reason why is because once the civil war that happened between Bitcoin Core and Bitcoin Cash, it's already proven that I'm just a small guy in the entire ecosystem. I don't have enough impact, enough influence to change anything. So if they decide, oh, we don't want Bitcoin Core to be a store of value anymore, we want it to be an NFT, for example. There's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing I can do. The only thing I can do is that if they decide to change it, I can decide to withdraw my money and put it somewhere else. That's it. That's the only thing I can do, right? I don't lean more Bitcoin Core or any type of Bitcoin. I really don't even care. I really don't even care. Okay, never even thought about it once. After the Civil War ended with Bitcoin Core in 2018, after that, I never looked back. I don't even worry about that no more. Kevin Lee 999 asked me, do you think that Bitcoin is in the bear market in 2026? Should we still hold Bitcoin in 2026? Right? That's another one of those dumbass questions. Like I told you guys earlier, that there's two questions that nobody knows the answer to. How much am I going to make? How much profit am I going to make? How much? And when? When is the market going up? When is the market going down? So when you ask me, do Do you think Bitcoin's in the bear market in 2026? You're asking me, hey, is Bitcoin going to go down in 2026? How do I know? How would I know? How would anyone know? How would anyone know? If anyone tells you that they know, they're full of it. They're lying to you. They're not being honest with you, and they don't know what the hell they're doing. I would not listen to them. Jackknife says 616. He says, don't let Ty fool you. Ty sold all his ethers after the Dow hack for cheap. You're right, I did. I'm not afraid to admit that. He became an Ethereum Classic shill. Shill would indicate that I talked about something, or I promoted something, or I supported something because I got paid for it. That's what a shill means. I never got paid to talk about Ethereum Classic. I never got paid to talk about Ethereum. I never got paid to talk about any coin. Don't get to brag being early to Ethereum when you gave it up on it too early. You damn right I get to brag about. I was the first person on the internet to make a damn video to tell people to invest into Ethereum. You're an idiot, Jackknife. You are a total idiot if you think something else. Show me one video of another human being on this planet that was willing to make a video and sit there with Vitalik on the same video and tell people to invest into Ethereum. No one. There was nobody. Everybody was scared. Everybody was scared shitless. They didn't want to be, oh, I don't want to ruin my reputation. I don't want to put my name on the line. I didn't give a shit. I saw the guy had talent. I was willing to invest into him. And I told everybody, this guy's got talent. We need to invest into him, right? The reason why I sold all my ethers after the Dow hack was because I had a decision to make. I had made a decision. I put in a few $1,000 and it went up to like $100,000. Okay. And I said, hey man, I have two choices. I have no money. Keep in mind, Jackknife, you're talking out your ass. I have no money at that time. I had no money. The only money I had was in Ethereum. And I told myself, I said, I got two choices here. I keep my money in Ethereum and hope that they survive the Dow hack and I don't lose everything. Okay, I don't lose everything. Or I take out this $100,000, right? And I take that $100,000 and I continue to invest it. Which one would you take? Which one would you take, Mr. Smartass? You're an idiot. You have no idea about how to invest or how to make money. When you're faced with a choice of uncertainty and you face with a choice where you have a little bit more certainty, you got to choose the one that has a little bit more certainty. Okay? The only reason you're only saying that because Ethereum is at $4,000 today. Ethereum did not make it until like Q4 of 2016. It was almost dead until 2017. And the only reason why it gained life, it was at Ethereum's nose is like, this is the water line. This is Ethereum's nose right here, just like this. It was almost dead. It was drowning. It almost died. They ran out of money. They had no money left to develop their project. The only thing that saved their ass was because Microsoft, the Azure network, started to run nodes for Ethereum. And that's the only thing that boosted the price. And then from then on, it went up. The market was going down. It was going down like this. And I said, hey, man, I only got $100,000 left of this shit. Either I sell it now and take that $100,000 and save it. If this thing goes to zero, I have nothing. I have nothing. So I made a decision and I said, hey, you know what? I will sell it because so that I can have a portfolio to invest in. And then once the money goes up, I can always buy the Ethereum back. And I did. You have an idea. You have no idea how much Ethereum I have right now. You have no idea. Okay. So to say that I was full of shit or that I'm trying to fool anybody, you're an idiot. You're the one that's foolish, not me. Don't forget, you know how we know that you're the one that's foolish and not me? First of all, you didn't buy Ethereum at 30 cents like I did. Second of all, you're listening to me. I'm not listening to you. You're following my channel. Am I following your channel? No, I don't think so. Do you have a channel? Oh, you don't, huh? Okay, that's what I thought. I wouldn't be out there calling people out when you're not in a position to call people out, Jackknife. Okay? Go get a course, make life-changing profits, and then come back and then call me out. Okay? At least do what I'm doing and make the kind of money I'm making first before you try to call me out. Okay? Gerger says, take it easy on your new viewers, Ty. These people don't know. They're trying to learn. Now, if I meet Jackknife in real life, I'd buy him a coffee, buy him a steak, and tell him, hey, don't be stupid, man. Okay? I don't hate anybody. I don't hate anybody. There's like 5 people I can think of that I hate in this world. There's 5 people in this world that I would hate. Okay? And if I had a chance to get rid of their ass, I would too. No joke, right? 2 of them are evil as shit, man. These 2 guys I met in prison. These are real killers. These are real serial killers, man. These people are evil. But they're not in prison. They were in prison for some bullshit drug, marijuana, or some dumb shit. But these people are evil. I know they are. I lived with them for over a decade. I know how evil these people are. Those people, if I have a chance, I'll take them out. I have 4 heart attacks already. I'm about to go see St. Peter anyway. I'll take them with me if I had a chance. Okay? Because I'll get good karma points in the next life for doing it. Okay? And there's about 3 more idiots that in a similar vein. These people are extremely evil, guys. These people should not be on this earth. Not everybody's nice in this world, okay? Not everybody. There are some people on this earth, just like there's people like me and the guys on my team that are being good guys, and we try to help people and try to do everything we can to help society. There's people on this earth that's just the opposite. You guys just haven't met them because you guys haven't been in prison, and you guys haven't seen these people that are evil, that are genuinely evil. Okay? You haven't seen that. You watch the nonsense on TV and you think they're evil? No. There's real people that's real evil out in this world. It's not a lot. There's 1 or 2. Okay? Out of a million people, there might be 1 or 2. But when you catch them, in my opinion, there ain't no rehabbing those people. There ain't no imprisoning. You just gotta go send them to go see St. Peter as soon as possible. Okay? So whatever Jackknife says, I don't hate him. I just wanted to point out the fact that, he's being foolish. He's listening to the wrong people, and he doesn't understand how to invest and trade, right, and make life-changing profits. So I might get loud or I might get energetic when I talk about it, but that doesn't mean I hate him or anyone. Even you, Gerges, you used to troll the shit out of me. I don't hate you. When I meet you in person, we'll go grab a coffee together, grab some chicken marsala together, Oh yeah. Now this is true though. What the cute station says, the frustration is huge when you have to repeat something, 1,000 times to people. Yeah, that is frustrating. So whenever you see me get loud and get energetic with Jackknife or with Gerges or something, it's more frustration that I have to repeat this 1,000 times, not because I hate him or get mad with him, right? No, Gerges asked about, do I have any morals about the blockchain, about Ethereum, about reversing the chain? No. There is no, when it comes to crypto and trading and investing, don't ask me anything that has to deal with feelings or emotions. I'm in here to make money. I'm here to make life-changing profits. I have no feelings. I have no feelings. I try not to have any feelings or emotions about any of this stuff, right? I have feelings and emotions when I deal with my sons, with my daughter. My daughter's getting older. She doesn't love me anymore. Pretty soon I'm gonna have to watch her, kiss another guy and love another guy and forget that I'm her daddy. Those are the things I think about, not whether or not what I feel about Bitcoin or how do I think or none of that. Okay. Let me see here. We're almost done here. Osco.blog asks, what are your top 5 countries for living in post life-changing profits? What are your top 5 countries for living after you make life-changing profits. Hey, before I answer that question, what the hell is this crown and this number 1 or number 2 that people keep putting on here? How do you even put that in there? Okay, I didn't see that before. Okay, the top 5 countries that I would recommend that you live in, right? Where you get the most value for your money is definitely Southeast Asia, like Thailand, Vietnam, Laos, Malaysia. That to me, you get a lot of value for your money, a lot of value. Some people say that, like, oh, what about Mexico City, or what about Medellin, Colombia, or South America, or one of the Latin countries? Yeah, that's another place. But the thing I don't like is this, right? The first thing I look for when I look at a country is the safety for my family. I'm old now. I don't want to fight no more. I don't have to stab somebody. I don't want to shoot somebody no more. I don't have to go whoop somebody's ass no more because they're messing with my family. I don't have to deal with that. I want, at 10 o'clock at night, I feel comfortable. My wife and kids are walking to the mall or walking outside, right, at the night market. I don't want to have to think about that. So Asia has more of a passive, nonviolent behavior and culture, because we got to look at the culture and what the people value in that culture. So in Asia, people value civility. That means that you're not causing a ruckus, you're not making a lot of noise, you're not creating problems in society. Like, it's a culture community. So people value community, people value civility. The things that you see people in America protesting, you see the illegal immigrants protesting, harassing people, doing that stuff in Europe and in Australia and stuff. We don't have none of that in Asia because they do not value that. That's not part of our culture in Asia. Asia, they value civility. When you guys come over here, you guys will see that a person who graduates from college will wear a dress shirt, a white dress shirt. They will wear slacks in Vietnam. And why is that? Because people work to move their way up. Okay? They work to elevate their status in society. So if you're a college educated person, you don't walk around in shorts and t-shirt like I do, because I look like an uneducated poor person. So nobody that graduates college likes to do that. The only time they wear a sports t-shirt or sports pants shorts like I do is when they're going to the gym, they're going to a sporting event, then that's when they do that. But in their normal everyday life, they wear a dress shirt because that's what educated, civilized human beings do in Asia, is that they dress decent and they dress professional, so they look like a civilized, educated human being. Okay? It's extremely, extremely rare that you see a college graduate in Vietnam yell at each other, cuss at each other, and talk the way that I do. Because the way that I talk would be considered uneducated in Vietnam and Thailand. I talk too loud. I'm talking too forceful. I'm using too much hand gestures. Those are all signs of a poor, uneducated person in Asia. A person who is educated in Asia talks softly. They talk without lots of hand motions. Everything is gentle. Everything is smooth. Everything is soft. What does that mean? Well, that means that you won't see people that are educated over here in Asia fighting each other. There's no such thing as bar fights. There's none of that, because the culture in Asia does not value that. They look down on people like that. If you are an educated person, you took our course, you made money, you don't go outside talking loud, you don't go outside starting fights with each other. You just don't do that, because that shows a sign that you're uneducated, you're poor, you're in the lower class. So because of that, it's very safe over here in Asia. That's the first thing that I value the most when I go to any country. In the Latin countries, right? And I can say this because I speak fluent Spanish. Okay, so I can say this. I'm not making stuff up. It's not that I don't understand that culture. The Latin culture is very similar to the Western Caucasian culture, is that they have a macho culture. Latin culture is a macho culture, right? They always got to prove who's the tougher guy, okay? Proving that you're a tougher guy is a sign that you're uneducated and that you're uncivilized and that you're a lower status human being in society in Asia. So if you live in like places like Colombia or Mexico, it's good. I speak Spanish. I spent a lot of time all my life learning Spanish. I still do. I like Mexican culture. I like Colombian culture. I like Latin culture. However, between living in a place that is safe, that values civility, versus a culture that values macho-ness, I would select this one first. Now, when my kids get older, my boys get older, when they're like 14, 15, 16 years old, right? I will bring them to Mexico to live. I will bring them to Colombia to live so they can learn Spanish, so they can learn Latin culture, right? There's things about Latin culture I really like. For example, they have a community culture in Mexico. They believe in having a family, right? They don't believe that a man can be pregnant, right? They believe that a man or a woman has to create a family, have kids, things like that. So I support that, right? I love Mexican food. That's, to me, that's one of the best foods out there, is Mexican food, right? What about Spanish food, Ty? What about in Spain or something? It's okay. I grew up in Texas. We're on the border of Mexico. Most of the Spanish I learned is from Mexicans, and most of the Spanish I learned is from Colombians when I was in prison, right? So I guess I have a bias, right? And also, I also have a bias because the Mexican Spanish and the Colombian Spanish, to my ears, they sound a lot better, right? They sound more clean. They sound more educated. And I'm not saying that the Spanish does not sound like it, right? I just grew up in Texas. I listened to the telenovelas, right? I listened to the Mexican news, and I listen to Telemundo and stuff. And I hear the Mexican accent and I hear the Colombian accent. So that's what I'm used to hearing. So when I hear the Spanish accent, it sounds different to me. Okay. Do I understand it? Yes, I do, but it just sounds different. And the girls from Spain, I don't think that they sound as sexy or feminine as the girls from Mexico and from Colombia. Okay. That's just my personal opinion. Okay. Don't jump on my ass about it. That's just my personal opinion, right? That the girls that speak Mexican Spanish, right, especially around Guadalajara, around Mexico City, around DF, to me, it sounds a lot more beautiful and a lot more feminine than the women that I meet from Spain. Okay, that's just, maybe I need to go to Barcelona, or maybe I need to go to Madrid to hear what it really sounds like. I don't know, but the Mexican women that I meet in Bangkok, in the ones I meet in Singapore, the ones I meet in Dubai, the ones I meet in Vietnam, they don't have the same Spanish accent that sounds beautiful and feminine to me like the ones from Mexico City or from Medellin or from Cali. Okay, just personal opinion. You asked me, that's what I'm going to say, right? Gergus asked why I haven't made more public videos on this English channel. I just don't have time, bro. I just don't have time. Like when the Zen Palace construction begins, I'm making I'm looking at the blueprint. It's an all-day construction. Like, I go down to the construction site, I'm busy there all day. Like, it's a full-time job. And I still make Vietnamese videos because I hire a Vietnamese guy, a video guy, to follow me with a camera. And then as I'm talking to all the contractors and everything, my goal has always been to share my experience and the mistakes that I made. So when I'm building my palace, I'm sharing some of the mistakes I made with the construction process, or I'm like, this contractor is talking nonsense, So I turn around to the camera guy and say, hey, look, man, this guy, this is nonsense. Like, when you guys do this, you should talk like this and stuff like that. So I still make videos on my Vietnamese channel because I have a Vietnamese camera guy. He just follows me. He just records whatever I say. Or I will be in a construction meeting and I would say, hey, turn the camera on. I gotta talk about this. And he turns it on and he records it and he uploads it for me. That's why the videos on my Vietnamese channel, there's more frequent videos on my Vietnamese channel. And that happens more frequently because I got a Vietnamese video guy that follows me and makes the videos for me. Okay. But the English ones, I just don't have time, guys. Right? I really don't. And the other thing too is that the other reason too, Gerges, is that what else am I going to say? What else am I going to say that I haven't said for over a decade on my channel already? On this English channel here, what am I going to say? That's why I don't want to make this videos anymore. And I want to start a new channel. It's called the kingsandallies.com. You can look in the description. It'll say kingsandallies.com, right? And the reason why I do that, right, is because there's nothing else for me to say on this channel. Like everything that I know about trading or investing, I've already said on this channel already. What else am I going to say? What else am I going to say that I have not said on this channel in the last 10 years already? And then if there's anything that you guys want in detail, just get my course and it's already in there. I'm not going to sit there and repeat. I already took the time, spent over $100,000, right, to record the course for my kids. This is exactly how I'm going to teach them. So if you really wanted to genuinely learn from it, just go and register and get the English course. Okay, if you're outside of Vietnam, get the English course. If you're inside Vietnam, then get the Vietnamese course. Don't switch it up. Okay. Making more videos on this channel does not improve the quality of my life. I'm only making this channel because YouTube's dumbass sent me a bunch of notices saying that if I don't make any more videos on it, they're going to cut the ads on this channel. The ads do not make that much, guys. Like right now, when you guys are watching this video, I have to turn on the ads because if I don't turn on the ads, they won't recommend the videos to other people. I mean, that's just how YouTube works. Okay. Okay. Baron asked why I always wear this shark shirt. Okay. So there's things that I do, guys, and I know I'm always looking for ways to improve the quality of my life. I made this money. I just want to improve the quality of my life. However, there's not much things to buy to improve the quality of your life. There really isn't. You guys know anything? Put it in the comments. I asked that several times already. No one's putting any comments in. So there you go. There's nothing that you can do to very much improve the quality of your life, right? So one of the things I like to do is I like to wear an ironed shirt. I don't like to wear wrinkled shirts. Okay. Now, I prefer to wear dress shirts. Okay. I prefer to wear dress shirts. Okay. I have several dress shirts that cost like $200-300 each. I would prefer to wear them. But there's a problem. My wife refuses to wash my shirts separately. Whenever it's time for her to do laundry, she stuffs all my shirts in. Like I've bought $200-300 shirts before that are really nice dress shirts that are white. I like wearing white dress shirts. Okay. And what does she do? She, no matter what I say, she takes it and she wears it. She washes it with the kids' clothes and everything, with her clothes. And every time I have lost so many expensive dress shirts that are nice. Like some of the Robert Graham shirts that I buy, they are absolutely gorgeous. They're magnificent. The white shirts. Okay. And then I would wear it for 2-3 weeks and it would turn pink. It would turn blue. It would turn gray. It would turn a different color outside of white. Right. And I hate it. I tell her so many times over the years, stop washing my dress shirts with your clothes or with the kids' clothes. And she's like, no. When I do laundry, I just throw them all in there. I ain't gonna separate nothing. I just throw it all in there. The washing machine does it. Okay. I'm like, okay. So I've learned that she's not gonna change that. Right. So one, I continue wearing white shirts that are pink, brown, blue, purple. or I wear something else. Okay, or I hire a person, a housekeeper, just to do my laundry for me. I cannot hire the housekeeper because I don't have a palace. I don't have a place for the housekeeper, or the maid, or whatever to live and work for me. So I decided I'm gonna go get a T-shirt so that it's easier, right? And I need a T-shirt, but the problem with T-shirts is that they wrinkle. Okay. One day I was walking through the mall at, I think the mall's name is Siam Paragon or Emporium. It's one of those malls in Bangkok. One day I walked through there and I saw this shirt. And I said, hey, that's a cool looking shirt. It's a shark. In America, a big trader is called a whale. In Vietnam, a big trader is called a shark. Why? I don't know. Just different cultures, right? So, so I say, oh, that's a cool shirt. It's a white shirt. It's cool. It's got a shark on it. I'm a trader. So just out of a joke, I said, let me buy one of these shark shirts. So I bought one. I went home. I just bought one. I went home. I wore it. My wife washed it, and then she hung it up for me. And I looked at it, and I went to wear it the second time. And I said, hey, did you iron this? She goes, no, I didn't iron it. I just took it out of the washer, out of the dryer, and just hung it up. Well, why is it so straight? Did you iron it? And you forgot. And she goes, no, I didn't iron it. I don't have time to iron your shirts, right? So I said, holy crap. So I washed it again 2-3 more times. And every time it comes out straight. I don't have to wash it. There's no wrinkles. There's 0 wrinkles on this shirt when it comes out of the dryer or the washer, right? If I don't want to dry it, I can just hang it out in the sun and it's already straight. If I put it in the dryer, I take it out, it's already straight. I said, damn, I'll be damned. I finally found a shirt that does not wrinkle. So I went back to the mall and I looked for it and I couldn't find it. They didn't sell it anymore. And then one day I was walking through Icon Siam, which is the most luxurious shopping mall in Southeast Asia. So I went there, I was walking there, and they had a sale. I couldn't believe it. They had all these shirts, right? And the brand is called Munich from Japan. It's a Japanese brand. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Right? Okay, Gergis, right? Nobody paid me to shill this shirt. Okay, somebody asked me, so I'm just telling them, okay? Jackknife, nobody's paying me to shill this shirt, okay? In case you guys accuse me of shilling the shirt I'm wearing, right? Nobody's paying me to say it. A student asked me or a follower asked me, so I'm just answering it. So what happened was I said, man, I like this. I like the fact that I can wash it and it's easy to wash. It's bright white. If you guys see this shirt in person, it is bright white. It's the whitest shirt I've ever seen. Okay, so I like it. And then when I wash it, I never have to iron it. My wife doesn't have to iron it. So I bought like 30 of them. So I wear the same damn shirt every day. So I can wash it, don't have to iron it, and it's clean and it's white. Okay, that's it. That's the only reason why I wear it. Because I like the sharp design and I like the fact that you don't have to iron it when you wash it. Okay. Kevin goes, I asked a question about the Bitcoin cycles because it follows a 4-year cycle. It should be ended in 2025. I don't know who told you it was a 4-year cycle. I don't know who told you that. Whoever told you that it was a 4-year cycle, you need to go back and ask them, right? The way that the Taifu investing system that we teach, we look to take profits every 3 to 5 years. For us, a market cycle on average is about 4 years. Sometimes it's faster, so it's 3 years. Sometimes it's later, so it's 5 years, right? But we don't know. We don't know. We just anticipate, hey, it should be around 3, 4, 5 years. It should be, right? But if it isn't, we're ready for it. I mean, we're not going to hold it. Like some people say, oh, Ty, like every 4 years, Bitcoin halving, and then the price goes up. According to who? According to who? Who says that every time there's a Bitcoin halving, that the market should go up? Who says that, oh, the Bitcoin's moving around, there's on-chain evidence that, oh, when it's moving around, the market goes up? I mean, I don't know none of that shit. The reason why I said I don't know that is because if it's true that every time there's a 4-year cycle, every time Bitcoin halves, the market goes up, well, what is the evidence of that? What is the evidence that that's going to happen every time? Nobody knows that. It's just a guess. It's just a guess. Nobody knows. Osco.blog says, I miss this raw banter from the live streams. Yeah, I'm just trying to keep it real, guys. There's the problem with the data and the information that we listen out into the world today. The majority of it is just BS, man. The majority of the information that we look at out in the world today is just all fake news. All fake. You want to learn how to grow watermelons? You go online, you look to see how to grow watermelons, it's all fake. Majority of the information is fake. You want to learn how to pick up women and find a woman to be your wife? The majority of the information online is just fake news. Fake. It's all fake. You want to learn how to become a priest or a monk? The majority of the information is fake. You want to learn jujitsu? The majority of the information is fake. Everything that you want to do in the world, the majority of the information is fake online. It's fake. It's not real. Let's say that you want to learn how to swim. The majority of the information is fake. 90% of it is fake news. Okay? And then the other 10%, the majority of that is just irrelevant. It's just not even relevant. You want to learn how to make life-changing profits? The majority of the information online is just fake. It's all BS. It's all fake. It's not worth it. It has nothing to do with making life-changing profits. And then the small minority of information online that is real, that's not fake news, it's not BS, it's real information, but then it's not relevant. It's not relevant. Like you guys asked me, hey, Ty, what about the 4-year cycle? It's irrelevant. It's not fake news, but it's irrelevant. What about the on-chain data, Ty? You got this guy, that guy talking about on-chain data, this and that. It's BS. Is the on-chain data they talk about, all these big wallets, whale wallets, they move their coins. Is that real? Yeah, it's real because you can look on the blockchain and see that the coin's been moved. But is it relevant to making life-changing profits? And the answer is no. It has no relevance to it. It has no relevance. It has no relevance at all. Most of the information is fake, and the information that is real, that you find that is real, it's irrelevant to what your goals are. The goal of this channel has always been to make life-changing profits, right? And most of the information out there is irrelevant. So when you say that I keep my banter or my live streams raw and I tell it like it is, I just want to be one of the few individuals out there that gives accurate information to people who are genuinely and seriously trying to make life-changing profits. That's it. That's all. I just want to be, at least there's one channel, at least one. Okay? There's millions of channels out there. There's at least one dude out there that is making an effort to give accurate information that is relevant to the subject matter. Because everybody else, it's just clickbait. It's just clickbait. Why the hell would you make a video to make a blowjob face for? Open your mouth like you're giving somebody a blowjob for. Why? The only reason is because you're trying to, be clickbaity. You're trying to get views for your video. Why can't you just rely on the quality of the content for your video? There will come a day, I promise you guys, with all this AI, there will come a day when they will use AI technology or some new technology to filter out all the irrelevant, the fake news, and the irrelevant content on the internet. That time is coming. And when that time comes, my content will still be evergreen and it will still be here. Why? Because from day one, I have never intentionally tried to make clickbait videos. I've only made videos that I can share with you guys. The only reason why I'm making this video now, after a year of not making videos, is because I don't want to lose the quality content that I've made for over a decade. Okay? That's it. And if you want to know why I keep it raw, I keep it real, that's the reason why. Okay? We are still early in Bitcoin, guys. Gerger's asked about how early we in Bitcoin. We're still early. We're still very, very early. See, if I make too many videos, if I make videos every day, guys, here's what you guys are gonna think. Regardless of what anyone says, this is what you guys are gonna think. Even though you guys want me to make videos every day, here's the reality. The more videos I make, the more you think that I'm full of shit. And I'm just another channel. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy that's just another channel that just talks shit. Okay. I actually, every video I make, I genuinely want to share with you guys the experiences, the mistakes, or the knowledge that we have gained from trading and investing and share it with other people. I just don't want to make, why the hell would I make a clickbait video for? That's the dumbest shit ever. Why? Why would I intentionally go online and make a stupid ass clickbait video for? Right? All I'm doing there is to lower my value. I got 5 kids. I don't want my kids growing up saying, hey, look at dad. He's making all these clickbait videos just for fun. I don't want my kids to look at me like that. I want my kids to look at me and say, man, my dad is a badass, man. Right? My dad is a badass. While everybody's making all this fake news, even when he had no money, he was keeping it real and he made real information that can help people. Even when he had money, he still do it. He wouldn't change. Right? He still kept it real. That's what I want my kids to look at me as. Not some dude that makes freaking blowjob videos on YouTube, right? You look at these financial guys like Andre Geek and all these dumbasses, they're praying. Oh, they make all these stupid ass clickbait. Make some real goddamn content, man, that people can benefit from your video, right? You don't have to make all these clickbait. I'd rather make one video in a year that can actually genuinely help other people than to make 1,000 clickbait videos that are BS, right? If I make videos every day, the thing that if I was watching somebody that made videos every day, I would think like, damn, there's that much shit to learn. I want to learn how to swim. You got to make a video every day, 365 days a year. You got to make videos about learning how to swim. Is there that much stuff I need to learn about how to swim? You're talking about making life-changing profits. You got to make a video every damn day. The markets, the only way you're going to make big money is long-term. There ain't no method that makes money short-term unless you're stealing from somebody, scamming somebody, or defrauding somebody, or you doing corruption or something. How are you going to make big money? Like, we're talking about millions of dollars or thousands of dollars in the short term. So if you got to make a video every day, I wonder, like, why are you really making life-changing profits? Because if you are, how are you doing it in the short term? Right? That's what I would say. That's why I don't make a bunch of videos, man. Like on my Vietnamese channel, like you guys will see like me release videos like every other day or so. And that's only because I'm at the construction site or I'm working with my employees and then I have something to say and they record it right there. But if I had to sit there and take a phone out and take a camera out and sit there and manually make a video every day like that, I wouldn't be able to do that. Right? I got somebody else helping me make those videos like that. Damn Fam TV asks how you keep up with the crypto news. I don't, man. I only look at the notices and the events that they notify me on the exchange that I use. If I use Kraken, I just look at what they say they announce. And then if I use Binance, I look at what they announce. If I use Coinbase, I just look at what they announce. Okay. Okay. So buying and selling crypto or taking profits right now. In our course, we teach about 15 signals. In the version 2, we teach about 15 signals. And these signals, we grade them in the markets, and then we add up the score, and then that's when we take profits. Okay. In version 4, when I come out with the course in version 4, I realized, hey, I'm sharing all these market sell signals with people, but they're actually not using it because they're too damn lazy. So in version 4, we condense it down to like 10. Okay, 10 signals to keep it simple. Now, I have not seen enough signals to take big profits. I know the market pulled back like 35% or something like that, 30, 33, 35%, right? That's nothing. The market does that all the time. Like every time it pulls back 20, 30%, what am I supposed to do? Panic? Like we've been doing this for over a decade already, man. I mean, a 30, 35% pullback, that's normal. There's nothing new about that, right? So we haven't taken out the big profits since Q4 of 2024. Yeah, Q4 of 2024. We've been taking out 1 to 2% profit every week that it goes up. Like if we have a green week, we take out 1 to 2%. We have a red week, we don't do nothing. We have a green week, we take out 1 to 2%. So if you've been doing that and been following me on Twitter, and that's the only thing that I've been tweeting out on Twitter for like a year now is, hey, remember, take out 1 to 2% profits. Remember, take out 1 to 2% profits, right? The reason why I do that is because we don't know. We don't know when the market is going to pump. We don't know when the market is going to dump. But we do know that when we have an opportunity, we can take out small profits at a time, okay? Just in case we're wrong. Just in case, hey, what if 126,000 is the peak already and now we're in a bear market? I don't know that. You don't know that. Who the hell would know that? Nobody knows that, right? But as the market's going up, we take out 1 to 2%, 1 to 2%, 1 to 2%. Then what that does is even if we miss taking out the big profits, we will have already taken out 20, 30, 40% of the portfolio already. And that's how the way that you want to be an efficient and a good investor is to always ask yourself, in this situation, what would I do? What if I'm wrong in this? What would I do if I'm wrong? In this situation, what would I do? In this situation, what would I do? What if I'm wrong here? What would I do then? How do I protect myself in case I'm wrong here? What if I'm wrong here? What would I do? See, the people always think about, oh, you can tell somebody's an amateur trader or an amateur investor because they always think about how they use the money. Oh, if I make this money, I'm going to do this. If I make this money, I'm going to buy a house. If I make this money, profit, once I make this profit, I'm going to buy 10 wives. Once I get this, I'm going to buy 10 Lambos. That's the mindset of a poverty mindset of a poor person and someone that does not know how to make life-changing profits. If you know how to make life-changing profits, what you focus on is this. Hey, what if I'm wrong here? I think the market's going to go up. But what if I'm wrong? Am I protected on the downside in case I'm wrong? I think that the Bitcoin's going to go to 200,000 and I'm going to take profits at 200,000. What if I'm wrong? You got to constantly ask yourself, what if I'm wrong on my ideas? Am I protected? How will I protect myself in case I'm wrong? That's what you should be constantly asking yourself. And that's what we do. We constantly ask ourselves, hey, as soon as Leon tells me, hey, let's do this, XYZ. Hey, what if we're wrong on XYZ? What's our backup? What's our insurance? What do we do? Okay, that's what you should be thinking. Okay. So in the course, we teach that the bear market, when we buy during the bear market, well, how do we know it's a bear market? Well, usually when it crashes more than 50%, that's when we start looking to buy. If it's 30%, if it's down 30%, that's not a bear market yet. We have to see it fall below 50% for a consistent amount of time, not for one day or 1 week or 1 month. It has to be, for a few weeks, few months, few quarters before we start buying. Okay. Kevin999 asks, do you think Tom Lee is genuine? He believes Ethereum is zooming up in early 2026. Okay, how would he know that? I already told you guys, how would anyone know when something goes up or when something goes down? The other question is, how much? How much does it go up? How much does it go down? How does someone know? How the hell would freaking Tom Lee know? If he was sitting here in front of me, I would ask him, hey, Tom, how the hell would you know? Are you psychic? Are you from the future? Do you have the flux capacitor? How are you traveling through time? Are you a time traveler? How would you know that in 2026 it's going up? How? Right? Tom Lee, is he genuine? I don't know what you mean when you refer to as genuine, right? He's a fund manager. He has to go online and he's going to talk good about the investments that he's investing in. So if he invests in Bitcoin, he's going to say good things about Bitcoin. If he invests in Ethereum, he's going to say good things about Ethereum. There's always a bias, guys. Just know that. There's always a bias. Okay, if I invest in Dogecoin, I'm gonna say good things about Dogecoin, or even if I don't say good things about Dogecoin, there's gonna be a bias towards Dogecoin. Why would I intentionally say something bad about Dogecoin and tank the price and dump the price for it when I'm hoping that the price goes up? Okay, why? So when you say is Tom Lee, the fund manager, genuine? He's on the news all the time. Um, I don't know. I don't know if he's a good trader. I don't know if he's a good fund manager. I don't know. I cannot comment. But if you ask me, is he genuine? He's going to be as genuine as he can be to the extent that it benefits him and his clients and his customers. If that's what you're asking, I don't know what you mean when you say, is he genuine? Right? I don't know. I haven't seen any signs where he's a fake ass. Like Max Kaiser, that's a complete fake ass. That's a 100% fake ass dude. That dude is so fake. Right? If you take a piece of zirconium, that's more real than fake ass Max Kaiser. That dude is so freaking fake, man. You know, there's a bunch of fake dudes in Bitcoin and crypto. That I've been here since the beginning, guys. All the dudes that are in Bitcoin, I know who they are. There's nobody that's been in Bitcoin the last 10 years that I would not know who they are. And I know which ones are real and which ones are fake, right? Max Kaiser, if I had to pick out the top 3 fakest fake dudes in crypto, he would be one of them. He would be on the top list. Why? Because he's been fake for so long. Okay? I would not listen to anything that dude says. So when you ask me, Kevin, is Tom Lee genuine? Genuine about what? You know, Ethereum. He's trying to start up a treasury with Ethereum. Now I own Ethereum. Okay, I own a lot of Ethereum, so don't think that I don't own any Ethereum. Okay, but to me, Ethereum is not. I don't see how that can be a treasury asset. Okay, do I hold Ethereum? Yes. Am I buying Ethereum? Yes. Am I going to sell Ethereum when it's time to take profits? Yes. Am I going to buy Ethereum in the next bull market? Yes. Okay. But I don't think that it's a very good treasury asset because there's an unlimited supply. I mean, as long as we mine, Ethereum, there's no ending to when the supply of Ethereum is going to end. So if something has an unlimited supply, why would you go make that a treasury asset? I don't understand that. I would have to sit down and Tom Lee would have to explain to me, hey man, like how do you get the idea that Ethereum is going to be a treasury asset when it has an unlimited supply? Are you aware that it has an unlimited supply? There's no supply cap. Like Bitcoin makes sense because the whole world wants it to be a store of value. The whole world knows that it's 21 million cap. There's no way you can produce more than 21 million Bitcoins, right? There's a limited supply. So I don't understand. How are you doing this with Ethereum? So I would have to listen to him, and let him explain to me before I can make a decision on that, right? Whatchamacallit, Decora 2371 says, we don't know when the market's going to go up or down, but when do we buy Bitcoin? I would buy it when it drops about 50%. Okay. Polkadot, Gerges asked if I think Polkadot is dead. I don't think it's dead because here's the thing. When I invest into a coin, I invest into the team. I invest into the people behind the coin. Now, some of you guys may not know this, but Ethereum's white paper was written by Vitalik, but the software code, the person that actually wrote the software code for Ethereum to launch the entire network was actually the founder of Polkadot. The founder of Polkadot is the one who launched the Ethereum network. It's not Vitalik, right? So when our team invests into Polkadot, we're investing into Gavin. Gavin is the guy that we're investing into. We believe that he has a lot of experience from doing, starting the Ethereum project. He saw the mistakes that he made. He saw the things that didn't work efficiently. So now he went and started Polkadot to build a better smart contract platform. Same thing with Charles Hoskinson. He started with Ethereum, and then it didn't work out. There was problems with it. He went and started a Cardano to build a better smart contract platform. So when we invest into Polkadot, we invest into Cardano, right? We're investing into the founders and their vision and what they see, the problems that they're trying to fix, not just because it's Polkadot or not just because it's Cardano. Okay. Tai Tung 159 says, hey, in Vietnamese, he wrote, hey, can you make a video about paying taxes when you take profits? I talk about that in detail in our course already, man. I mean, what do you want me to say? If you're in America, you have go to the accountants in America and pay your taxes there. In Vietnam, they don't charge taxes yet, so I don't have nothing to say about in Vietnam until they come out with the laws to tax crypto in Vietnam. In America, they have laws for that already. So you just ask your accountant. You just make a list of everything you bought and sold and how much profit or loss you made on each one and show it to your accountant, and they'll figure it out for you. So you don't have to figure it out. Okay. Turk 79 asks, hey, Ty, what are your thoughts on Quant? I haven't looked into it. Don't know anything about it. Tansin Cost Vlog 1482 asked me, there's a war between Thailand and Cambodia. What's your strategy to protect your family? The way you protect your family against any war or any problems with the government, right, is to make sure you have multiple homes in multiple countries and multiple locations in multiple jurisdictions. That's what you do, right? So that if the war starts, like my family, we made the mistake that there was a war going on in our country, and we waited until the last minute when the war, there's bombs at our front doorsteps, dropping on our front doorsteps before we leave. And you shouldn't do that. You see a war coming, just get out of there. Get out of there, right? I tell our students in Israel all the time, get out of there. Students in Palestine, get out of there. Our students in Ukraine, get out of there. Our students in Russia, get out of there. And then some people say, well, Ty, aren't you being a sellout? Or aren't you not helping your country? You're not being a patriot. Hey, you ain't going to help your country when you're dead. Okay? You're not going to help your country when there's a 500-pound bomb dropped on your head. You can't do shit. You ain't going to be able to help anybody. When there's a war in your country, the first thing you need to do is protect your family. Take them to safety, make a bunch of money, and as soon as you can, when there's peace in your country again, bring that money back and help your country. You cannot control what the idiots in the government are doing. You cannot. You got to know when, hey, man, my protesting, my freedom of speech, whatever I say, it ain't going to do, it's not going to change anything what the government wants to do. You understand? You got to know that. We got Russian students that are escaping the war. They're in Da Nang with me. They're in Nha Trang, right? There's a bunch of them. They're in Bali, Indonesia. They're in Phuket, Thailand. They're in Pattaya, Thailand. They're in Bangkok, right? Don't get involved. Don't get involved. Somebody calls you a chicken. Somebody calls you scared. Somebody tells you you're not brave. Yeah, but you're alive. Make a lot of money, and then go back and help the country when there's peacetime. Don't try to help them when there's 500-pound bombs being dropped on your head and there's nothing you can do about it. Okay? You don't have no guns to shoot back. You don't have no cannons to shoot back. You don't have no battleships to fight back, right? Get your family, get your wife and kids out of there, make a bunch of money, and then wait until the war is over and then come back and help rebuild the country. Okay? That's how you help your country when there's a war. Okay? Never try to stand there when somebody's dropping 500-pound bombs on you. Like there's parents near the border of Cambodia and Thailand right now. They're dropping bombs over there. Why would you send your kids to school for? Are you an idiot? Why would you want your kids to be near where somebody's dropping 500-pound, 1,000-pound bombs on near your kid's school for? You know, we should not say something about the kids or the children. We should say something about the parents. What are you thinking? Why are you sending your kids over to that? Don't you see these people? These two people are fighting. They're shooting each other. They're dropping bombs. Why are you there? Are you an idiot? Are you stupid? Are you blind? Are you deaf? You can't hear those bombs being dropped on you? Get out of there. That's our team's policy. When there's war, get your ass out of there. Get your family to safety, right? You want to help? Help when the war's over. Well, what if I want to help them during the war? Okay, help from outside the war. Help from outside the country. Because you got to realize when something's outside your control, guys. You got to realize, hey, that's out of my control. Dude, if I tell them to stop dropping these 500-pound bombs on me, you think they're going to stop? No. If I tell them to stop dropping these 1,000-kilogram bombs on me, you think they're going to stop? No. You think if I take a gun and shoot at them when they fly by, they're going to stop? No. There's nothing that you can do, right? Nothing. Don't listen to these idiots, right? Everyone on my team has been through wars already. Everyone on my team has been through, when we grew up in a war area, and we had to go to America as refugees. Everyone on my team has suffered through war. And I'm telling you, there's nothing that you can do, man. There's nothing. Now, if you want to sacrifice your life, if you have no wife and kids, and you say, hey, man, I'm willing to give up my life for my country, yeah, then go ahead. Go ahead. Go and join the military, do what you got to do, right? But if you have a wife and kids, your first priority should be your family. If you have parents, your first priority should be your family. That's what I would say. That's how you protect yourself, right? And the way you protect yourself is by making life-changing profits. If you don't make life-changing profits, you cannot save your family when there's a war. You cannot save your family when there's a bunch of illegal immigrants running around trying to slash people and stab people and hurt people. You cannot do it without life-changing profits, okay? Say what you want, but you can't, okay? Damn Fam TV asks, will the Honorable Grandmaster, legendary, world-renowned LeonFu.com ever make an appearance on this channel again? I have no idea, man. I might not even make this another video on this channel again until YouTube, sends me another notice, okay? And I'm going to end the video here, guys, and tell you guys, I started a new channel. It's called KingsandAllies.com. It should be in the description. I hope it's in the description. I remember putting it in the description. Let me see. It's spelled just like you hear it. It's spelled just like you hear it. I thought I did, but I didn't. Let me put it in right now. Okay, so let me explain to you guys why I'm stopped. I don't want to broadcast on this channel anymore. When I grew up, I was poor for over 4 decades. I was in poverty for over 4 decades, right? And I always told myself, I said, man, someday when I become financially free, when I become rich, I want to share my knowledge with other people and do it genuinely and do it sincerely. No fluff, no nonsense, no lies, no fake news. Just say it like it is, right? And talk about how I got here. That was my goal. That's why I started this channel. The original channel name was prisonorfreedom.com because I believe that as long as you're poor, you're always in prison. You're always in. The only way that you're going to get out of freedom the only way that you genuinely have freedom is if you're a wealthy person. Okay, that doesn't mean you have to be a multimillionaire. It doesn't even mean you have to be a millionaire, but you have to have enough money to be able to do the things that you want to do in life, right? Um, I would say that you really don't have genuinely true freedom in the Western countries unless you're able to pay for like $8,000 to like $15,000 a month in living expenses. That's when I believe that you have genuine freedom. In Vietnam and Thailand, it's about $4,000 or $5,000 a month. If you want genuine freedom, I believe that you need about $4,000 or $5,000. There's a cost. Freedom has a cost, and in Vietnam and Thailand, Cambodia, it's around $4,000 to $5,000 a month. In the Western countries like the EU and the US, Australia, it's about $8,000 to $15,000 a month, depending upon your lifestyle. Okay, um, so once you have freedom, you can make better decisions in your life for your family, more accurate decisions, and not be emotional decisions, right? So we started out our channel as prisonerfreedom.com to share about money. And then we realized, hey, the only thing we talk about is cryptocurrencies. So we changed it to cryptocurrency.market. Okay. And then over a decade later, I realized that the percentage of the population and the percentage of people that want to become rich, become wealthy, make life-changing profits, it's tiny. It's so tiny, right? You look at all the crypto channels here that have 1 million subscribers, like 500,000, let's just say over 100,000 subscribers, right? We've been broadcasting for like over a decade. We got like 35, 36,000 subscribers. You look at any of the crypto channels that have over 100,000 subscribers, most of it is just garbage. The most of it is just news channels. They don't tell you anything about how to invest, how to change your mindset, how to make tough decisions when you encounter tough problems in the investing journey. They don't. They just recite the news. They just clickbait videos, right? They make money off the ads, the YouTube ads. They make money off the Patreon subscriptions, right? We don't make money off the ads. So you can't say that we're saying things just to get ad revenues. You can't say that because we don't make money from it, right? We don't make money from selling the courses either. Even though it's $2,000 a course, we don't make money from that, right? If you look at our accounting right now, you would see that we actually lose money on that. We lose money every month on selling those courses, right? Now, obviously, we don't want to run a business and lose money all the time, right? So since every one of my business partners makes enough money from their portfolio, we live off of our portfolio. And then the courses that we sell, we lose money on that in the short term. So if you buy a course, we automatically lose money, right? Because it costs us more to pay the employees, to pay the software engineers, to maintain the course, to maintain the servers and all that. It costs more money each month than the amount of courses that we sell, okay? So it's a negative. So we lose money there. However, whenever somebody buys with crypto, we just keep the crypto there. We keep it there for 5, 6, 7, 8 years. And so we lost money on the courses we sold in the last 5, 6 years. However, because the market's gone up this time, then we make a profit. This is a small profit. It's not a big deal. As long as we don't lose a lot of money. If we lose a little bit of money in the short term, but then we make it back after 4 or 5 years because we leave the crypto there, then it's okay with us because that helps to pay for our software engineers so that we can develop the software, develop the course for my kids, and then develop the software so I can use it to manage my own portfolio. So that's the benefit we get from it. Okay. So because of that, we don't need to make content every day. We don't need to do that. Okay. So, but then I realized I'm just wasting my time. I'm making this video. There's about 100 people watching it, 70 people watching it, right? It's just a waste of time because I realize that I'm dedicating a lot of time, energy, and effort, right, to create content that only a tiny percentage of the population wants to make life-changing profits. There's a lot of people that say their mouth says that they want to make life-changing profits, but their actions say, nah, I don't want to. Okay. So the reason why I no longer make videos is I have no more motivation to make videos for a small population, a small, tiny percentage of the population. The amount of people, like out of 1,000 people, you might find one guy like me who likes to make money. The rest of the people, they just like to spend money. They don't like to make it. They don't want to do anything to make it. I have a few hundred people in my family, in my clan, in my tribe, in Vietnam. I've been back in Vietnam for 8 years. Do you know how many of my family members that are dirt broke, poor and shit have asked me to teach them how to make money? You know how many? Zero. Listen carefully again. I have a couple hundred people in my family. Most of them are all dead, broke, poor as shit. How many of them have asked me to teach them how to make money? The answer is zero. Not even one person, Ty? Yep, not even one person. Well, Ty, they must be having good money. No, they're flat broke. They don't have a place to live. They have to stress out every day, every week to make money, to pay the bills and everything, buy food and everything. Well, then why don't they ask you how to make money, Ty? Because that's just how the world works, man. And when I realized that, hey, you know what? The percentage of people that like to make a large sum of money, it's so small in this world, it's just not worth my time anymore. That's the reason why for over a year now, I haven't made any videos. Because why? Why spend all this time and effort to make content when the majority of the world does not care about making a large sum of money? Why? Doesn't make any sense. That's why I have no desire to make any more videos. I'm only doing this one to keep the clock running so that YouTube will continue to recommend my videos to other people that are genuinely looking to make life-changing profits. That's the only reason why I'm making this video. So on this new channel that I'm starting called kingsandallies.com, on that channel, I'm going to talk more about the things that more people are interested in. More people are interested in finding a woman to date, to make a wife, to start a family, to raise kids, and how do you build a successful family that's long-lasting over multiple generations. And it's not just money, it's just that how do you select that woman to be your wife? How do you select that man to be your husband? Those are the things that I want to share. And there's a personal motivation and a personal incentive for me to do that. I have 4 heart attacks already. I don't know when I'm going to die. I really don't. Right? I'm not scared of it. I just don't know, like, am I going to live another year? Am I going to live another 10 years? Am I going to live another 50 years? I don't know. But if I'm going to spend time making content, I want to make content that can benefit my 5 kids so that when they grow up, they can look back at dad's channel and they can say, oh, okay, so that's how you make that tough decision. That's how you do this. That's how you do that. Okay. That's how you make friends with someone. That's how you ally with someone. That's how you select a woman for a wife. That's how you select a man for a husband. I want to talk about the things that's genuinely going to help my kids when they grow up, when I'm not here to help them. While I'm still alive, I want to record all my knowledge and experience on how to live life and build a family, and also how to build wealth also, right? And record that and put that on my kingsandallies.com channel and share that with my kids. And then if it benefits you guys to watch it, you're welcome to watch it and learn from it. If it doesn't, it's fine because it's for my kids. And that's why I no longer have a desire to do this, because the amount of people that want to make life-changing profits is too small to be worth my time. The number of people that want to have a family and have a successful family and have a wealthy family for multiple generations, that number of people is much higher, okay, significantly higher, okay? So I'd rather focus on that. And also, it's also self-serving because it also helps my kids when they grow up. When I'm not around no more, they can look at my videos and see how I made decisions and how I made the choices in my life that I did, okay? So Let me see. Any last minute questions before I hang up? Another thong ask if our portfolio didn't have enough to reach our nearest financial goal, do we solely rely on other market signals to take profit to fill up our ammo bucket? Yeah, you got to take profits. In every cycle, you have to take profits, and there's two reasons. One is that you take profits to fulfill your financial goals. Like if you want to have a wedding, you want to have a house, you want to buy a house, you want to retire early, you take profits to fulfill your personal financial goals. The second reason you take profits is that sometimes you don't have enough to fulfill your financial goals. Like you need about 200,000 US dollars to retire in Vietnam. And let's say that you only have 100,000. Do you take profits? Yes, you still have to take profits because you need to take profits to fill up your ammo bucket so you have more ammo for the next bear market so that you can buy more coins in the next bear market. So in every cycle, you always have to take profits. No matter what anyone says, you have to take profits. One, the first reason is to fulfill your personal financial goals. And the second reason is to fill up the ammo bucket for the next bear market, to reload for the next bear market. Okay. Chung T. Win asked when I'll be back in Vietnam. Whenever I finish getting the passports and the birth certificates for my fifth child, then I'll be back. Okay. Tansin Cost Vlog 1482 asks, you remove your American citizenship to reduce your taxes? No, I did not remove my American citizenship to reduce my taxes because I never had a U.S. citizenship. I lived in the U.S. illegally the entire time I lived in America for 40 years. I lived there illegally. And what does that mean? That means I have no green card. I have no U.S. citizenship. I never had any of that. I lived in the U.S. illegally. Okay. When I tell that to people are like, oh, how the hell did you live in 40 years in the U.S. and not have a green card or citizenship? There's millions of people that do it every year. There's a million people that come and live illegally in America every year. Why would you be surprised that another person does it? Right? And you may say, well, how come you live in America for 40 years and not have a green card or U.S. citizenship? Because I was too poor. One, I was too poor. Another reason is I grew up in America when I was 5. I came to America at 5 years old. I never thought that I was living there illegal. I never once thought. I went to like 15 different schools in America. I was poor, so I was on welfare, and I went to the schools. So why would I think that I was living in America illegally? The Americans were the ones who brought me from the Malaysian refugee camps to America. So why would I think that I was living in America illegally? Why didn't I go try to get a green card? Why would I think that I need a green card for? Why? Why didn't you get a U.S. citizenship when you were there? Why? Why would I think that I need that? When you're 5 years old and you grew up in America at 5 years old, why would you think that you're not an American? Did anyone ever ask me the whole time I was living in America, did anyone ask me, hey, let me see your green card? Let me see your citizenship. No, no one ever did. So why would I think about that for? Okay. And even if I did think about it, I was too poor. How would I be able to pay to go get a U.S. citizenship? How would I be able to pay to go get a green card? Right? When I was in America, I didn't even have enough money to buy this fucking banana to eat. How would I be able to go buy a green card? How would I be able to go pay for a citizenship? How? Tell me, how? Okay. What happened when you started making money? Why don't you go get a green card? Why don't you go get a citizenship then? Because by the time I made money in America, I decided that I no longer wanted to live in America. My mom was sick in Vietnam, and she begged me. She said, I want to see your face before I die. So I said, Mom, I cannot go back to Vietnam because I have no documents. I have no green card. I have no U.S. passport. I have no citizenship. If I go back and see you, Mom, I'm going to be stuck in Vietnam forever. Right? I cannot come back to America. And he goes, why not? You lived there for 40 years. You can go back whenever you want. I said, Mom, you don't understand. I live here illegally. Okay? My mom did not understand that. She has no clue what I'm talking about. The police in Vietnam, the majority of the people in Vietnam, everybody asked me the same damn question. How do you live illegally in America for 40 years? Simple. You just pay your taxes and live there. Nobody gives a shit. There was not one person that ever made fun of me or asked me, hey, are you living in America legally? Only people that ever ask you that is the police. Why would somebody live? America's a land of immigrants, a land of people that live there that come from other countries. Why would they care if I come from another country and I live there? I don't give a shit, right? So whenever Tencent Cost Vlog asked me if I remove my American citizenship because of taxes, no, it's not because of taxes. I never had an American citizenship. So how can I remove something I don't have? Okay. So I hope that answers your question. Do you have more than 2 citizenships? I only have a Vietnamese citizenship. I'm a Vietnamese citizen. I'm not an American citizen. I tell that to everybody and nobody freaking believes me, man. Sometimes I wonder how stupid people can be. You ask somebody, hey man, do you have an American citizen? And you say no. Why not? Because I was living there illegally. I didn't know I had to get one. And then when I did realize it, right, I don't want to live there no more. It's freaking simple. Okay. J Connect U1S asked, do you currently make an income via staking crypto? Yes. I've been making an income from staking crypto for the last, I don't know, man, 10 years. I cannot remember for how long. Okay. Our strategy in the Taifu investing system, 80% of our money is being invested into the Taifu indexes. In the Taifu indexes, there's a bunch of coins in there that are stakeable. So I stake all of them. All the coins that I hold that are stakeable, I stake them. And I earn monthly income from them. Okay. Baron Red asked, if somebody asks you how to make money, I'm assuming he's saying life-changing profits. I'm not talking about like regular amount of money. If you just want to make regular money, the fastest way to do that is just go get a job, like I did. When I first came out of prison, fastest way to make money is just get a freaking job. What if you have one job, or well, then get 2 jobs? Simple. Most people are freaking lazy, man. When I came out of prison, I was 34 years old. I haven't touched a girl in 14 years. Guys were asking me, hey, man, let's go bang this girl. Let's go bang that girl. Let's go find this girl. Let's go find that. Let's chase this girl. I didn't give a shit about none of that. I focus on making money, man. Right? Remember, man, you guys can lose money chasing girls, but you're never going to lose girls chasing money. Okay? The first 2 or 3 steps you would do is this, man. The first 2 or 3 steps I would do if I had to start all over again is that I would try to put my ego aside. Okay? When I was growing up and I was poor, I thought that people don't have money or people are poor because the lack of capital, because the lack of knowledge, or the lack of political influence, okay? Or the lack of rich parents. It's none of that. If you're poor, the reason why people are poor is because of their ego. Why is it ego? Why is ego the cause of people being poor? It's not the lack of capital. It's not the lack of knowledge. It's not the lack of infrastructure. It's the ego. The reason why I was poor for so long was because I grew up, my dad always thinks he knows everything. He doesn't know how to make money. He thinks he knows how to make money. He doesn't know how to make friends. He thinks he knows how to make friends. He doesn't know how to create allies with other people that can help him. He always thinks he knows how to make allies. All right. That's the biggest problem, is people's ego. Ego is the root cause of poverty, and it's also the root cause of wealth. When you can learn to put your ego aside and admit, I don't know. I don't know how to make money. I don't know how to build a business. I don't know how to make life-changing profits. I don't know how to make money investing in crypto. Once you can acknowledge that, that's the first step. Then you will go out there and look for someone that knows so you can learn from them. But you ain't gonna go look to learn if you think you know it already. You think you already know. You got these dumbasses online that do technical analysis every damn day. Stupid ass. In Vietnam, same way. Got these idiots online every day doing technical analysis. How many times have you guys seen me do technical analysis? I have never met a person that does technical analysis online every day that has made more money than me in trading. Never. Not in person. Maybe on the internet, maybe somewhere, but not in person. I've never met a person that does technical analysis every day online that has made more life-changing profits than me. Right? And why is that? Doesn't that damn fool know that he ain't making money from all that technical analysis? Yeah, he does, but it's his ego. His ego. He won't admit that he don't know. He won't admit it. Okay? So the first step is I would check my ego. All right, and admit that I don't know. Second is that I would go and find a qualified teacher to teach me that skill that I want to learn. If I want to go learn swimming, I'm going to go find the highest qualified teacher that knows how to teach, that knows swimming and has a skill to teach. Those are two different skills. Swimming is a skill, teaching is a skill. If you want to learn how to trade, trading is a skill, teaching is a skill. If you want to be good in math, the person has to know math, has math skills, and they have to have teaching skills so they can teach it to other people. If you want to pick up girls, the guy has to be good at picking up girls. And then he has to have the skill to teach, his knowledge. That's what I would do. I would check to make sure. The second step I would do after putting my ego aside is that I would check to make sure the guy is one of the best guys on the planet that teaches that skill. Whether it's swimming, whether it's investing, whether it's a chef, whether it's cooking, whether it's dancing, whether it's welding, whether it's mechanics. It doesn't matter what the skill is. Whatever it is, I want to learn from the best guy that knows how to teach it. Okay? So that's what I would do. And then I would just learn from that guy. And I would not waste time trying to learn from another person until I can do what that guy does. I tell my students all the time, if your team has not cracked $10 million in profits, do not waste time trying to learn another person's system. Do not waste time trying to teach me or question me, right? My team has cracked $10 million in profits many, 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 many moons ago. Not this year, not this cycle, many, many, many moons ago. So when your team can do that, then you are qualified to go invent something new, invent a new technique, invent a new strategy, try to change our strategy or correct our strategy or adjust the strategy that we taught you. But until you have done that, until your team has done that, you are not qualified. And you don't need to learn from somebody else. You just need to learn what we teach you in the course and just follow along. If you're uncertain, text me. I'll make it clear to you. Okay? But don't waste your time learning from 10 people. You don't need that. You just need one person that you can trust and ask yourself, does this dude really know what he's talking about? Does he know how to do it? If you don't know how to be a trader, does this guy know how to trade? Does this guy Ty Zen know how to trade? Number two, does he know how to teach that to somebody? If he knows how to teach it, right? Okay, that's it. And then once I crack 10 million in profit, then I will try to figure out something new. But until then, I'm just going to do what he says. That's it. That's how I would do it. And it's not just for trading. It's not just for investing, guys. It's not just for making money. It's for anything that you do. Anything you want to do in life, swimming, dancing, fighting, martial arts, dog training, cooking steaks, cooking barbecue, whatever it is, catching fish, catching shrimp, hunting deer. It doesn't matter what skill that you want to learn. Okay? Put your ego aside, admit that you don't know, go find the best guy that teaches it, that knows how to do it, and is a good teacher. Learn from that person. And once you do what you are capable of doing what they do, then branch out and look for other people. Okay? But other than that, I would not waste time. The reason why it took me 44 years to make my first $1 million is because I wasted so much time learning from people that does not know how to make $1 million. I learned from people that has never made $1 million in my life. And then the people that have made $1 million in their life, they don't know how to teach it. They know how to do it, but they don't know how to teach it. Just like I know how to speak English. Can I teach you English? No. I know how to speak Spanish. Can I teach you Spanish? No. You have to find somebody that knows how to speak English. You have to find somebody that knows how to speak Spanish that also has teaching skills. The person that speaks English and they have teaching skills. That combination of the two is going to be able to transmit their knowledge to you. If the person knows how to speak English but does not know how to teach, it's useless. If the person knows how to trade and make life-changing profits, but they don't know how to teach it, that's also useless. It's going to take you a very long time. If you want to speed up your learning, then you want to learn from somebody that knows how to do it and they know how to teach it. Those are the two things, right? That's what I would advise you, Baron Red. Those are the two steps. Put your ego aside. Go find the person that can do it and can teach it, and then stick with them until you can do what they do before you branch out and waste time learning it from another person, right? The way that I know how to trade, I've made $1 million multiple times in my life, okay? And the reason why I know teaching is because when I was in prison, I was teaching people how to weightlift, how to be stronger. So I got teaching experience already. And then when I was in prison, I used to teach art. I'm a naturally gifted artist. Okay. So I taught hundreds of people art. And then I also taught a calligraphy class. So I taught calligraphy, Western calligraphy, to hundreds and hundreds of students for like 6 years, nonstop, every day. Okay. So I've been the 14 years I spent in prison. I spent those 14 years either teaching weightlifting, teaching people how to increase their sports performance, teaching people how to paint better, or teaching people calligraphy and how to write better. So I have 14 years of teaching experience before I ever got into crypto or into trading. Okay. So when I learned crypto, it was very easy for me to teach somebody else because I already know how to teach. I'm not like these guys that become a trader and then don't know how to teach. That's what the reason why you guys don't see Leon and my business partners on his channel a lot is because they want to put the best teacher in front of our audience to teach. So out of all of us, I'm the best teacher. That's why I'm here. Okay. Jay Connected is advising me not to eat meat and stuff like that. That's the problem is I was not breathing, Jay Connect. Okay. Uh, this damn comments is jumping up and down here. Soulflow says, dating question. If you seek a wife, should you consider a woman who has had multiple past partners? One or two or three partners is fine. After like 5 or 6 partners, if the woman has sex with like 5, 6, 7 partners already, she no longer has the capacity to genuinely love you anymore, right? It's not possible. Men can do that. Men can have sex with 100 women, and then they still find a woman they love and love them genuinely and sincerely. A woman is not capable of doing that. Don't listen to these idiots online, man. A woman is not capable of doing that. That's the reason why in the past it was required in almost all the countries, it was required that the woman was a virgin when you met them, right? It sucks nowadays because a long time ago, if you look at it, like our fathers, our grandfathers, and our great grandfathers had a good opportunity because when they married, they actually married a virgin woman, right? They didn't have to work that hard and they got a virgin woman. Nowadays, you can be a multi-millionaire, a multi-billionaire. You can be like the richest guy in the world, like Jeff Bezos, and you have to hook up with a girl that's been ran through and had sex with multiple guys already. There's never been a time in history where one of the wealthiest men like Jeff Bezos in human history has to go marry a 50, 60, 70-year-old girl that's already used up and can't even produce a kid. There's never been a time in history like that, man. And that's not the life that I want for my boys and my kids, man. I like the traditional life, the traditional way that men used to behave in Thailand or in Vietnam. I prefer that a lot better, man. I hate these stupid ass the comment technology on YouTube because the shit jumps in and out. Every time you scroll, it jumps up and down. It's like, how can I read the damn comments? If I move something, it jumps. Why is the woman so hard to date here in Da Nang, Thai? That's what one green Mitzi asked. Hey, when you say that a woman is hard to date, right? It's always your fault. It's never the woman's fault, man. That's one thing that you got to learn as a man, Never blame anything that has to do with dating or relationships on a woman. It's your responsibility. You have to accept responsibility for what happens. If a girl does not, you go ask a girl for her phone number, she don't want to give it to you, it's your fault. You go ask her, she don't want to kiss you, she wants to kiss another guy, it's your fault. If you want to make love to her, she doesn't want to make love to you, she doesn't want to sleep with you, she wants to sleep with another guy, it's your fault. Never, ever blame the woman. Always, as a man, it is your responsibility to accept responsibility for whatever the outcome is with a woman. If the woman cheats on you, it's your fault. Don't blame the woman. Never, ever, ever blame the woman. Okay? Regardless if the results or the consequences you get with dealing with women is negative or positive, good or bad, happy or sad, never, ever blame the woman. It's always your fault. Okay. It's extremely, if you ask me right now, in what situation would it be a woman's fault? I cannot think of any. I would have to sit there and think for several days if I could come up with a scenario where it's the woman's fault. Okay. It's never the woman's fault, man. That's one thing you got to learn. As a man, it's your responsibility. It's not the woman's responsibility. Okay. Well, instead of saying, hey, why are women so hard to date here in Da Nang, or why is it women so hard to date in Dallas or New York? You should ask yourself, what is it about me that makes it so hard for women to feel attraction towards me? What is it about me that makes it so hard for women to want to sleep with that guy over there, but not with me? What is it about me that the girl wants to hold his hand and not my hand? What is it about me that I need to change so that the girl will want to kiss me and not that guy over there? That's what you should ask yourself. Never, ever blame the woman. Never blame the city you're in. Never blame any of that, right? This guy here is, man, like this guy here is asking me some of the weirdest questions, man. 10-cent cost of law. He asked me earlier why I don't about the U.S. citizenship. Now he asked me if you don't have a U.S. citizenship, why you must pay tax for the government from crypto. God damn it! You pay taxes to a country according to the laws of the country that you're in, man. Right? You have to pay taxes. You have to look at the tax laws of that country, right? Instead of asking, America, if you're not an American citizen, why are you paying taxes to the government in America? You have to ask, what law requires you to pay taxes to the American government if you're not a U.S. citizen? What you're confusing there, 10-cent cost of law, is that you are confusing immigration law with tax law. Immigration law is not the same as tax law. There's a lot of people that don't have a U.S. citizenship and they owe taxes to the U.S. government because the tax law is different. The tax law, for example, they say that if you're a U.S. person, and what is a U.S. person? A U.S. person is someone that has a green card. A U.S. person is someone that has a U.S. citizenship. A U.S. person is someone that makes money that is sourced in America. So if you make money coming from America, that's also, according to the tax department in America, you are considered a U.S. tax person. It doesn't matter if you're a U.S. citizen or not. So you're confusing immigration law with tax law. You need to go and research that. Okay. Dewey Lynn 5442 says, I don't have a father, and you've been a huge influence on me. I'm so lucky to have found you. Okay, well, thank you. I hope you take what I've said and go apply it to your life and make a better life for yourself. Kevin 999 says, hey, Ty, can you get a citizenship, pay the $1 million to get the Trump Gold card? He just reduced the price. No, the Trump Gold card is not worth it to me because even if you have the money, I don't think it's worth it because it's just a visa. It's not a green card. It's not a U.S. citizenship. It's just a visa. So if you want, I would just get a visa if you want to go to the U.S. The first thing I would ask is, why do you want to go to the U.S. for? The U.S. is going downhill right now. Why do you want to go there for? I told you guys that you always want to look for winners. You want to hang out with, you want to make friends with people that are winners. You want to ally with people that are winners. You want to live in a city that's a winning city. You want to live in a country that's a winning country. Why do you want to live in a city or a country that's going downhill? Why? And if you do want to go to the U.S., why do you want to pay $1 million? There's a bunch of other ways you can go into the U.S. that you don't have to spend $1 million on. You just get a tourist visa, right? Okay. Gergis, my number one troll asks, do you think Bitcoin crypto is the best investment for the next 5 to 10 years? Absolutely. It's going to be it's the best investment for the rest of my life. I'm 54 years old. I cannot see anything that even remotely comes close to crypto for the rest of my life. And right now, maybe in 10 years, 20 years, things will change. But right now, I don't see anything. Okay, so. Soulflow369 says, how did you meet your wife? I met my wife on Facebook. How did you decide she's the one? Well, she was willing to do what I asked her. See, some of you guys go out there and you're trying to support the woman. The woman is not the main figure. That's the reason why I'll talk more about it on the kingsandallies.com channel. That's the reason why I call it Kings and Allies. You got to run your family like a king, man. The king, everyone in the family, in the kingdom is there to support the king. You got to treat yourself like the king in your family. You got to be the one that makes the tough decisions. You got to be the one that does the tough action and does the things that nobody wants to do, right? You don't want to do the things like in the Western countries. all the stupid ass feminists, the dumb ass feminists, right? They're teaching women and they're also teaching men that you should be there to support the wife. It's bullshit. There's never been a time in human history where it's the man's responsibility to support the wife. It's the other way around. The women's job is to support their man, right? And then the man's job is to protect and provide for the women. In exchange, I have to go out there and hunt for food. I have to go out there and create friends and allies. And while I'm gone, I need your ass to stay in my house, watch the kids while I'm over there fighting a battle over there. Okay? Don't be stupid. Okay? The man's job is not to be there to support the woman. If you think that it's a man's job to support a woman, you're an idiot. You're going to live a miserable life. Okay? Why would you want that life? There's nobody in human history. There's never been a time in human history, except for the last 30 or 40 years, out of the millions of years that humans have been on this earth, it's only been the last 40 years that the dumbass feminists have convinced people that it's the man's job to support the wife. It's never. If you want to live in poverty, if you want to make life-changing profits and lose it very quickly, then you go support the wife. Okay? When I met my wife, I was dirt freaking poor, man. I didn't have a lot of money, man. You know, I got out of prison. I just had a heart attack. I'm trying to come up. My wife said, hey, are we going to have like a wedding and stuff? And I go, hell no. I'm not going to spend any money on the wedding. I'm going to spend that money on my investments, on building a business and investing. That's how we need to make money. We don't need to make a wedding. What the hell's a party for? What am I going to go spend my money on a damn wedding party for when we're broke as shit? Okay? My wife had a car. She had a two-door silver two-door Camry. She just bought it. She just bought it like 2-3 months ago. And I told her, I said, hey, you need to sell the car. And she goes, why? When she moved in with me, I said, look, you need to sell the car so we don't have to, we can save that $364 a month or whatever, $350 a month, and save that so I can build my business so I can invest into the markets. We need to focus on making money. We are a poor family. We need to make money. We don't need to worry about partying. We don't need to worry about weddings. We don't need to worry about you driving a car, right? And she's like, well, I can go get a job and help make you some money, and then we can make our family richer. I said, no, you don't. Your job as my wife, right, is to kiss me, have sex with me, and do what Dave Chappelle teaches all women should be doing. Kiss me, have sex with me, make me a sandwich, and shut the hell up while I go and think about how to make money. Okay? And she's like, really? That's all I got to do? I said, yeah. And if you just do that every damn day, right, I can go out and focus on going and making money for us. You don't need to go get a job. You don't need to go get a job and work for another man. You need to work for me. I'm currently your boyfriend. I'm going to be your husband. I'm going to bang you. We're going to produce kids. You're going to work for me, and you're going to work for our kids. That's who you're going to work for. You're not going to go work for another man, okay? You're not going to get up in the morning, put your makeup on, get dressed, look pretty for that man, and then come home. When I come from work, I want you to be fresh and clean for me. I don't want to come home and see you take off your makeup and everything. You did all that makeup and all that work to look pretty for another man and not for me? No. Hell no. Hell no. You're going to work for me. You're going to support me in what I'm doing. Okay? And yes or no? And she's like, okay. If you say you're going to go out there and make the money and take care of our family, then I'll stay home and make the sandwiches for you and have sex with you whenever you come home from work. Right? And that's what she did. And that's how I chose her as my wife. Okay? I'll share another example. One of my business partners, one of the guys on my team, right? He came to Bangkok. I'm going to show you how stupid this girl is. My wife is a smart girl, right? She might not be smart in school and everything, but she's smart. Like she said, oh, yeah, I'll let this Thai Zen make the money, the life-changing profits. All I got to do is make him a sandwich, bang him and shut the hell up. Yeah, it's not too hard. You know what I'm saying? So that's why she's one of the wealthiest women in Vietnam and Thailand right now, right? One of my team members, he comes to Bangkok. He meets this girl, this really nice Thai girl, really cute Thai girl. And they start dating each other. They start going out. And my team member tells her, hey, look, I want you to just stay at home, have kids with me, take care of the family, take care of the house. I don't want you to go to work for another guy every day. I make enough money for both of us to work, to live. I don't need you to go work for another guy, right? And she's like, nah, I would rather, instead of staying home and just making you a sandwich and banging you and then living a good life and let you go to work and make all the money, I'd rather go work for this guy every day for $1,000 a month or whatever. And he's like, are you serious? She's like, yeah. Are you serious? She's like, yeah. And so he left her. He left her, and now she regrets it. Stupid ass regrets it now. She could have been with a multi-millionaire. Instead, she'd rather go work for a few bucks an hour. Okay? Don't be one of those dumbass girls like that. When your man tells you, hey, stay home, make me a sandwich when I come home from work, and just bang me and have sex with me, and then make kids for us, and I'm going to go to work and make the money for it. I don't want you going outside making money. I want you to be at home and be a mom. Don't be a dumbass. Don't be a stupid ass and turn that down, right? That girl ain't never going to find another rich dude like that again. Never. Never. Okay? That's how I pick my wife, okay? Gerga says, I was making those comments when my wife was in the room. No, it's not. I don't care if she's in the room or not, man. I'm not one of those guys that gets, whipped. I'm not going to say, you guys in America know what I'm talking about, okay? I'm not going to be one of those guys that's whipped by a girl, man, okay? A lot of guys say that online, and then you go home, and they're whipped. You can tell, man, they're whipped. I'm not that guy, bro. Wang Lei asked me about what traits are suitable for a wife. I'm going to talk about that on the Kings and Allies channel, man, because this is a crypto channel, so I don't want to talk too much about that. Soulful 369, what if she's only with you for your money? Why else would a girl be with you for? Why? Why would my wife be with me other than for money? Why? Why would any girl want to be with you, right? Why would any girl want to be with you? Like you guys are listening to a bunch of weak ass dudes, man. Stop listening to these weak ass men, man. These feminine soy boys, man. You guys are listening to a bunch of freaking idiots, man. Why would a woman love you if you don't have no money? If you can't take care of her and you can't provide for her, why would she care? It's not even about the money, man. It's like the money allows us as men to provide and protect our women. I put my wife in this $1 million condo. I'm living on the riverfront in the Chao Phraya River, right next to Icon Siam in Bangkok, right? If you want to come in here and hurt my wife, you gotta go through 4 layers of security. You gotta get past the security gate. You gotta get past the front door security. You gotta get past the elevator security. You gotta get through 4 freaking layers of security to get to my wife. She doesn't love me because I have money. She loves me because she knows, she trusts that I can protect her. She trusts that I can provide food and shelter for her. That's what, when I say money, really what I should be saying is that you never gotta be able to provide and protect your girl. If you cannot provide and protect a girl, there's 0 reason why she needs to have sex with you instead of another man. Just remember that, okay? I don't care if a girl wants me because of my money. That's what I made the money for. If the girl does what I ask her to do, I don't even care if she ever loves me at all. All I care about is she going to make me a sandwich when I need to eat? Is she going to have sex with me when I need to have sex? Is she going to shut the hell up when I need her to shut the hell up? That's it. Okay? There's millions of beautiful women out there. Millions. Millions, millions, millions of beautiful women out there. What's the difference between all of them? A beautiful woman is the same as a beautiful woman. Okay? A beautiful Thai woman is the same as another beautiful Thai woman. A beautiful Thai woman is the same as a beautiful Vietnamese woman. A beautiful Vietnamese woman is the same as a beautiful African woman. A beautiful African woman is the same as a beautiful American woman. A beautiful woman is a beautiful woman. It's the same shit. Okay? The only difference between all beautiful women is how much they're willing to support you in what you do. How much? There's some girls that say, you know what, I'm going to make you a sandwich when you need it. But I'm only going to make it when I feel like it. And then there's some women that say, oh, sweetheart, whenever you need to make a sandwich, just let me know. I'll get my ass off the couch and I'll go make you a sandwich. Okay? Just let me know. Right? There are some girls, you ask them to have sex with you, and they're like, I don't feel like it. I'm tired today. I got a headache. Number one most common excuse that girls use is I have a headache or I'm tired. Okay? So, and then there's some girls, you want sex? I'll give it to you. I'll suck your testicles dry. Okay? So that gives the value in the woman, right? Is not her beauty, it's how much she is willing, what she is willing to do for her man that gives her a lot of value. The more that a woman is willing to do for her man, the more value she has in the eyes of men. The less that she wants to do for a man, the less value she has. So that's different in how men are valued. Men are valued by what they can build, what they can create, what they can do. What you can do as a man is what determines your value. It's not even really how much money you make, right? It's not even how much money you make, right? So those things, I'll talk more about this on my kingsandallies.com channel, okay? Because this is a money-making, this is a crypto channel, so I don't want to go into too much about it, you know. Question on the girl side. If she agrees to stay at home, but later the man may leave her for another girl, how do you prevent this risk and die? I'm going to answer this question. This will be the last question here, okay? Because it's a girl asking the question. And we don't get too many girls on this channel. We don't get too many girls' questions, all right? So I'm going to ask her a question. You should never, ever worry about another girl. If you're a girl, you should never, ever, ever worry about another girl. The reason why you shouldn't worry about it is this, because the mistake that all men and women make is this. I made this mistake so many times in my life, you know, and I'm telling you guys, you don't make it. If you're a man and you want to attract a woman, you should not think, how does a man think? You should think, how does the woman respond? What the woman responds to is significantly more important than what she thinks. Okay? Now, on the other hand, on the other side, if you're a woman, right, or a girl, you should never ask and worry about what a girl thinks. You should always think, what does the man think? Inside his head, what is he thinking? Like in my head, I'm thinking that I love him, I support him and everything, and he's gonna go love another girl. Okay? That's what you're thinking inside your head, but what's he thinking inside his head? What you don't understand is that the woman that supports a man that has kids with him, taking care of him and taking care of his girls, his kids and everything, that man has no reason or incentive to love another woman. When a woman has sex with a man, she has to actually have feelings for the man. She has to have feelings. What does that mean? That means that she has to have an emotional feeling for that man to have sex with him. So that's the reason why you don't want to marry a girl that has too many sexual partners. Or in America, they call it body count. You don't want to you don't want to marry a girl that has too many sexual partners because she has had emotional attachments to too many guys. and she's no longer capable. And all these guys let her down. So she is not capable of having an emotional attachment to you, because she's done it with 10 other guys, 20 other guys, and she has lost her faith. She has lost the confidence in having an emotional attachment with men. She cannot love you. There's no way. I don't care what anyone says. She is not capable of loving you genuinely, to genuinely love you. The men knew this. That's the reason why 100 years, over 50 years ago, right? And for 1,000,000 years now, men have always required the women to be a virgin, so that they know for certain that that girl will have an emotional attachment to that man. Okay, that's how men and women work. Now, that's how women, the psychology of how women work. Now, for men, it's different. A man can go bang 10 girls and come home and still love his wife. And the reason why is because there's no emotional attachment. He had the urge, he had the desire, his genitals were itching or whatever. Go scratch that itch, that's it. He doesn't even remember who that girl is, doesn't even care. Okay? And so when you're a woman, okay, you want to focus on providing so much support for your man that even if you put 10 Miss Thailand or Miss Universe or Miss America in front of him, he doesn't care. He doesn't care. He will never sacrifice himself and take a bullet for one of those Miss Thailand or Miss Vietnam or Miss America or Miss Colombia or Miss Mexico. He will never do it, but he'll do it for you. That's how you know if he genuinely cares and loves you more than the other girl, is will he fight to the death for you? Okay? And that's where a lot of girls, no matter what I say, the girls, even if you are asking right now, you're not going to believe what I say. You're not going to hear what I say. I'm just saying it just for the hell of it. But I've told so many girls already, they're worried about the dumbest thing. You make sure, the way that you make sure that your man continues to provide and take care of you, so you don't have to worry about him running away with another woman, is you make sure you kiss him, you have sex with him frequently, you make a sandwich for him, and stop bitching and complaining. That's the number one cause. That's the number one reason that guys fall in love with a different girl. It's not because she looks prettier. It's not because she looks prettier, she's sexier, or she has better tits, or she has better ass. It's not because of that. It's because you are bitching and complaining too much. Nothing kills attraction faster than a woman bitching and complaining every day. Where did you go? Who did you talk to? Where did you and your friend go? What did you guys eat? How come I called and you didn't answer? How come I texted and you didn't answer? All that shit right there that I just said, that kills attraction so fast. You have no clue. No clue. And most girls don't know that. Most girls, they watch all this stupid K-drama. They watch all these telenovelas. They watch all this dumb shit on TV. And they think that's how you should treat your man. That's not how you should treat your man. The way that you treat your man is go watch Dave Chappelle. And he'll tell you there's only 4 ways to satisfy your man so he doesn't go run off with another woman. Okay? Kiss him, have sex with him, make him a sandwich, and shut the hell up and quit bitching and complaining all the time. Okay? All right. I'm going to end this video here, guys, because I said that's the last one I'm going to answer. Okay? If you want me to talk more about men and women and how to find the right man to be your husband or the right woman to be your wife, just follow me on the Kings and Allies channel. Okay. And then I'll talk more about it. Thanks for joining me on this live stream, guys. I appreciate your support, and I look forward to talking to you guys in the next video. All right. I'm going to end this live stream right here.